What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hard Count. Late one tonight, solid 23 minutes late. But hey, you know what? Technology doesn't cooperate sometimes. Life happens. Listen, it's better late than never, as I always like to say, because I'm usually late, so it doesn't matter anyway. CJ, how you doing on this fine Tuesday, huh?
Hey, what's good, guys? Sorry I'm late. Just coming in from doing some Pilates.
Yeah.
A little bit of core, glute workout. So sorry about that, guys, but ready to rock. Talk some football with my guy. Good weekend. Yesterday was good. My guy Jeff Saturday got a nice little job. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But yeah, everything's good. Glad to chop it up. I know you guys see me standing. I'm not home right now. So, just got to go back to the sit and wait for now. But next week, I'll be standing up, preaching to you guys again.
The standing CJ, standing desk guy.
Yeah, standing desk guy is put that on pause for the week. Get back to that next Tuesday.
Big Pilates guy now too. I'm gonna have to get you one of those little treadmills for the standing desk.
Yeah. Give me a Peloton.
Slide it right under.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Peloton right there. I'll be Gucci. Kill two birds with one stone, either cardio and work. You feel me?
Beach bod CJ coming soon. To a beach near you, brother.
Yeah, bro. Man, if y'all do Pilates, anybody in there doing Pilates watching the show, got your bro. My lower body is shot right now. Really big though.
Well, all right. We kept everybody waiting long enough, but we're here now. And that's all that matters because we can talk some football. 6 teams on bye weeks. So not as much football as there normally was. I think there was only 2 4:00 games, which is a little weird. I don't understand why if there's so many teams on byes, you wouldn't just, put some teams to play in the 4:00 slot. But hey, I'm not the one that's making the schedule, so who am I to complain? But we'll kick it off. Thursday night football, the Eagles.
Oh, wait, let's you want to dive into Jeff Saturday?
Oh, I thought we were going to do that when we got to the Colts, but I'll dive into it now, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that, yeah. Let's wait till we get to the Colts.
When
it's
we get
perfect.
to the Colts,
goes right to New England. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
That's a situation. That is a situation. So yeah, when we get to the Colts, we'll break down the whole Jeff Saturday thing and see our thoughts on that whole situation, because it certainly is one. But like I said, we kick it off Thursday night football. Eagles took on the Texans in what nobody thought would be a very good game. Obviously Eagles were going into that game, I believe, 7-0. Are they 8-0 now, or are they 9-0? I don't know if they've had their bye week yet.
9, I believe they're 9-0 now.
9-0? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're now 9-0 on the season. And honestly, for the first half of this game, it was very competitive. Texans were driving down the field, making it look pretty easy against a pretty stout Eagles defense. The Eagles were driving down as well. I think, and then, you look at the end of the game, they kind of, took care of business. They end up, winning 29-17. Not exactly a blow. I think the spread on this game was like 14 or something. So technically they don't even cover on the game. But they did what they were supposed to do. They beat a team that, obviously is just not very good. Just looking at the scoring breakdown here real quick. So it was tied going into halftime. Eagles scored a touchdown in the third, and then they scored 8 more in the fourth quarter, shut out the Texans in the fourth quarter as well. So they did what they were supposed to do. I think the big thing out of this, Eagles just keep doing what they're doing. Hurts is playing very well. I think he has like 15 passing touchdowns maybe, or something, only a couple interceptions. I think he has 3 touchdowns on the ground, maybe not, maybe more than that. Might be like 6 or somewhere up there. So obviously we know that he's the dual threat that he can be. AJ Brown, another unbelievable game as he normally does. And then, for the Texans, listen, you don't have many things to be that excited about, especially, now with Brandon Cooks. He didn't get traded at the deadline. Obviously not very happy about that. He sat out this game. You had Lovie Smith after the game say, basically, if you're not going to practice, you're not going to play. Cooks obviously wants out of there. I don't think that they're going to release him because they were trying to get something for him at the trade deadline. They don't get something from him. So why would you just release him now? That wouldn't make much, sense for your football team. But so I don't know what his situation will be the rest of the year. Does he want to just waste away the last 8 games, or does he say, all right, fine, whatever, I'll pick myself up and play? But the Texans' bright spot is definitely Dameon Pierce. Like, you have your running back. Dameon Pierce he's a dog. He's absolutely a dog out there on the field. He's kind of pinballing off of people, getting the tough yards, taking the hits. And it's weird because you almost like hate that he's taking these hits now because the team is so bad, and you almost wish you could like bottle it up and maybe a couple 2-3 years if they hit on some draft picks and they get pretty good, that you could release it then. But hey, you got to play when you're going to play, and Dameon Pierce is definitely a bright spot on this team. Other than that, listen, you knew the Texans were going to be bad, but hey, you found at least one bright spot. You hold the number 1 pick in the draft. You go and you probably get a quarterback because, listen, they gave Davis Mills a chance this year after, honestly, a pretty solid rookie season. He was not that bad his rookie year. You can make an argument that it was like him and Mac last year as the best rookie quarterback. It's definitely taken a downturn this season. So, maybe if he improved somehow and got a lot better, they could say, okay, we'll give him another year and whatever. But I think that, now you just go quarterback for sure. You put somebody next to Dameon Pierce, hopefully. And then I don't know how much money they have in cap space next season, but I can't imagine too many people on their team are making big money besides Brandon Cooks. So I would assume they would have some money to go out and spend in free agency. Hopefully, make that
Cooks, Laramie Tunsil.
Yep,
it's not a lot of guys. Not a lot of guys that's have a long-term contract right now for Houston.
Yeah, go ahead though.
Oh yeah. This is early. This is a good start early by the Texans. They're in their home field. You don't want to just lay down at the start of the game. You're playing in front of your home crowd, and you want to show some type of life, show some type of fight for your people in your home stadium. But all in all, later as the game wind down, Eagles just started to show why they're the best team in the NFL and why they're undefeated. They were able to play complementary football. It's what they've done honestly since last year, but now. It's even better because of the weapons they have on the outside. So it's even heightened at this point because now you can pass with the run. And Jalen Hurts, he's not turning the ball over. He's getting the football to the guys when they need to get the football. Again, they're just a complete team. They're just a complete team. It's really they're just a well-oiled machine. They know what they want to do. They know their identity. They want to run the ball, play defense, work off the play action, get those guys involved on the outside. Smith, Brown, Goddard, run the rock with Hurts, Miles Sanders, Gainwell, and then play defense and get turnovers. Get the ball back for those guys and control the clock. They really play like the Ravens. Their style is very similar to Baltimore. And I got to give a lot of credit to Philadelphia and their coaching staff and what they've done with Jalen Hurts and not because a lot of head coaches, once they become a head coach and they have a quarterback, they want to implement their system that they think is going to be successful. Pray was good, brother. How you doing, man? Hope all is well. They want to put their system in place. They don't care about the quarterback. If the quarterback can't excel in their system, then the coach gives up on him.
They want to make people something that they're not.
Exactly. Making someone that they're not, and it's as opposed to doing the things that they do well and maximizing that. That's good coaching, and that's what Nick Sirianni has done these last 2 years with Jalen Hurts. First year, okay, this is what we want to do, but you have to improve as a passer, and this is what he's done that this year, given the weapons that they've acquired. The read option is just tough to stop. It's tough to stop, especially with his accuracy now and his ability to make anticipatory throws. Something I said he needed to improve on after that Buccaneers game last year in the playoffs. He's worked on that. He's put the pain in, and he's seeing the rewards from it. And I mean, last year a lot of people thought Mac was going to be the best quarterback out of those Alabama guys, and right now he's in third place. He's in third place. Granted, you got to add an asterisk because those two guys got elite guys on the outside. I mean, Tyreek and Waddle and AJ and Smith. I mean, that's something.
Plus the running game that Philadelphia has.
Yes, plus the running game. So you can't sleep on that. So those guys are in year 3, Max in year 2. And year 3 was the big step for both of those guys, as we see this year, for Tua and Jalen. So if you're a Pats fan right now, I'm pretty sure you're crossing your fingers that Max year 3 is on the same trajectory as his former Alabama teammates. But it's really nothing else to say with Philadelphia. I think I think some of these divisional games are going to be close, really competitive. They're going to really have to lock in, and really with situational football, those divisional games are always close. You can't sleep on Taylor Heineke, Daniel Jones, and Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott now, it's not Cooper Rush. That second game when they go up against Dallas, it's going to be Dak there. Yep. So that's going to be a phenomenal game. I can't wait to see that. I could see them going 10-0, 11-0. And then maybe when they see Dallas again, or maybe see one of these divisional teams, it could be competitive. But I just think right now they're just hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, they've made that leap. Like, you talk about, like, you want to see people get better, of course, and we saw Allen take the leap. We saw, Hurts is taking that leap now. So that's what you want out of your quarterback because, I mean, we've stated it a multitude of times on this show. Not going to win many games without a great quarterback. King
Kuta. I don't know. That Kendrick Lamar song.
Okay.
It's a K-Dot song, yeah.
Okay. Connie the Barbarian. I'll accept it. Can we acknowledge why the Empire State is the best day in the U.S. Buffalo?
Have you ever seen Dave the Barbarian before?
I have not.
Oh man, yeah, yo, Vic, put him on the Dave Barbarian, man, Disney Channel.
Okay, I might have to.
Put him on.
Oh, CJ got the lighting right and everything.
Yeah, I got the ring light on. Yeah, it was kind of messing up the battery, but Gucci.
I was gonna say we gotta see that face. Come on, son.
See that face, yeah.
Star of the show out here.
I'm crying.
But yeah. Eagles, hell of a leap. But we'll go on. Chargers, they take on the Falcons, escape with a 20-17 victory. They had a game-winning kick in this game to walk it off. Listen, the Falcons are definitely a lot more what's the word I'm looking for here? They're like a little gnat. They're like a little gnat,
They're competitive, bro.
Yeah, they're competitive. They never really go away. And you always go into the game thinking like, oh, we're playing the Falcons. We're about to win easy. And then, they're there right at the end of the game. I think to me, it feels like they've lost a lot of games by one possession. I mean, you think about the Bucs game. Obviously, this game, there was another team that did they lose? Did they play the Lions and lose? I don't know. I feel like they played a couple. I feel like they've played a couple very close games and, that just haven't gone their way. But, I mean, for the Chargers, it's kind of just about staying alive. CJ, I want to read you the injury list for this game. So, we already know about Rashawn Slater. He was out for the season. They had Mike Williams. He was out with an ankle injury. So, that's your number 2 wide receiver. Keenan Allen was out with the hamstring still. I think he's played in one game this year. Dustin Hopkins, their kicker, was out. They had their backup tight end, Donald Parham, out. They had an outside linebacker, Chris Rumpf, out. They had Jerry Tillery out. I mean, I think Corey Linsley got hurt in this game or either didn't play in this game at all, which is their center, one of the best centers in football. Mm-hmm. I know going into it, Austin Eckler, I want to say that he was –
He played, though. He played.
Yeah, he did play. But I think he was – yeah, he was. So he was a limited participant on Thursday. Looking at the injury report right here, and then he was a full go on Friday. But so obviously he wasn't 100% going into the game. We know that Herbert is still recovering from the rib cartilage. Like, there's teams every year that get hurt, and I'm just like, I don't understand. At one point, you got to change the training staff. Like the Chargers, the 49ers, every year the 49ers are hurt. The Ravens. Ravens
last year, yeah.
And this year, too. I don't think Gus Edwards or J.K. Dobbins played. Bateman's out for the year. Mark Andrews got hurt. Like, bro, we might I have to start changing training staffs. But yeah, Chargers are definitely escaped with the win. Crazy towards the end of the game. I don't know if you saw it. Austin Eckler had a carry. He fumbled it. The Falcons recovered it. They get up. They're running back down the field. Nobody even touches the Falcon player. He fumbles it again. Chargers recover it. And, they reviewed it, and the play stood. I think the Chargers lost like 20 yards on it. But I think literally the very next play, Herbert hit an out route to, I want to say, Joshua Palmer, and, got back into field goal range for whoever their kicker was, and ended up winning that game 20-17. But, yeah, the Falcons are definitely like that little gnat, the little brother that, like, just won't go away, keeps annoying you. Then, we finally killed the gnat at the end, but it was a pain in the ass the entire time.
Yeah, they're competitive. They're a problem. They like to run the football. Arthur Smith, that's his identity over when he was there in Tennessee, when he was offensive coordinator. And before Sunday's games kicked off, they were number one in the NFC South. And listen, I know we all expect Tampa Bay to end up getting that first place in the division, but with the lack of consistent quarterback play, this is Mariota's first year on the team. Cordell Patterson has been in and out due to injuries.
He was back this game.
He was back this game, yes. But just overall in general, what they've been able to do despite circumstances and I'd say average play at the quarterback position. They've been able to stay afloat, stay around 500 throughout this season. We'll see what happens in these next 8 games and how it plays out for them. But I think this first half for them is you could say very promising. Many people didn't expect them to be where they're at. Many people thought they'd be 1-7, 1-6, something like that. No one saw. A lot of us. We no one saw this. No one saw them.
Them and the Seahawks.
Yeah, and they've surprised everybody. And the Chargers, they need to start. Corey, what's going on, brother? Imagine Herbert on this Falcons team. There would be a 2 seed. Yeah. Just imagine if the Chargers were healthy.
I wish
they'd have a much better record. And this happens. This happens. Unfortunately for the Chargers, probably worse than any other team because this is what we've seen from Los Angeles, even when they were in San Diego. It's just something happens with their squad.
Philip Rivers playing that AFC Championship game with 2 torn ACLs or something like that.
Philip playing on a torn ACL, and I believe that was 2008 or 7 against us, in that undefeated year, 18-1 year, and they'll go on a 5-game win streak to start the season, and then finish the season on a 6-game loser streak and miss the playoffs. This is what they used to do back when Philip was there, and it just seems that just stays with them now. Having an injury-riddled season, you can't control it. You said they should bring in a new training staff. That's a possibility, but then again, it's just so tough, man. It's just a violent sport. Guys are gonna get hurt. Man. You're literally, thrusting your body into another man's body.
Oh yeah, I forgot Bosa is hurt
violently. Yeah. Yes, with the groin. Yes, they only had 2 pass rush at the beginning of the season, and Bosa stays hurt. Come on, man. What kind of roster build is that? On paper, this is the start of the season. It looked great. It looked Khalil Mack, Bosa, Derwin James, Asante Samuel Jr., J.C. Jackson, got all these guys, and here we are. 9 weeks into the season, and the majority of the guys we just mentioned are injured are on IR. So the Chargers, they were still managed to get this W. It's a close dub. You take it. And they just got to keep stacking the wins. Have to keep stacking these wins, man.
Hey, listen, with the way the NFL is this year, we thought the AFC was going to be this big powerhouse. Things are kind of, going into.
Well, I thought it was going to. I felt like it was going to be parity, and I think that's what we've seen so far. We've seen the Chiefs. We've seen the Chiefs be. They're not invincible. Buffalo's not invincible,
especially if Allen's hurt. We're gonna have to get into that.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about that. Is it a Staley thing?
No, Staley is a terrible coach. I don't care what anybody says. First of all, he's a defensive coach. Their defense, especially their run defense, hasn't been good since he's ever been there, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's the whole thing with Saleh when he got to the Jets. The Jets defense wasn't very good. First of all, they had no players. I don't know what you were expecting. Why the Jets defense would be good anyway? But he's a defensive head coach. Why isn't the defense any good? Staley's a defensive head coach too. And also, we're in a offensive generation. You think you would pair your nice shiny new toy of Justin Herbert with an offensive coach as well? I mean, listen, I keep seeing Sean Payton on Fox and everything like that, blah, blah, blah. I'd fire Staley so quick, and immediately make that phone call to Sean Payton. Immediately.
Yes, he's gonna get a lot of he's gonna get some interviews. Clearly he's gonna be very meticulous with his next spot because you need a quarterback in this league.
Because that's the thing too. Like, a lot of people are linking Sean Payton to like the Chargers or the Cowboys. But the Cowboys have been, decent this year. But here's my other thing. Would you rather go to the Chargers or the Cowboys? Now, where the Cowboys defense is better for sure. They got some weapons over there. But it's Dak, who, not the worst quarterback in the league or anything like that. But you could go to the Chargers where you have Justin Herbert, who I think is already, talent-wise, a top 5 quarterback. But imagine him with an offensive genius like Sean Payton, the way that he did everything in New Orleans. And, if they could ever stay healthy with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and, Gerald Everett looked unbelievable at tight end this year. So, I mean, Sean Payton, that's an easy phone call for me.
It's an easy phone call. That division's still going to be competitive. I know the Broncos and the Raiders record may say otherwise, but those are still 2 games that you got to get up for every single year. Yeah, 4 games, that you got to get up for every single year, regardless of what the wins and loss record is. Because, again, like I talked about earlier, just how the competitive that division is. So that's a good spot for him. It's going to take a nice little trade just to send over to New Orleans to make that happen because I believe he's still under contract with the Saints.
Yeah.
So that's going to take a little deal or some negotiations between both sides, or three sides, with Sean Payton involved in regards to
2 firsts.
Yeah, I think 2 firsts is good. Maybe, they'll probably maybe throw a mid-round in there because, again, usually those are starters. Those end up being starters in the NFL anyway. So I could see 2 firsts and maybe, a third or something like that for a guy like Sean Payton. I think Dallas, is a good spot. Chargers is a good spot for him also. I don't see any other place for him right now.
Yeah, because I think there were 10 new head coaches this season. So there's only so much turnover you can have.
It's like, but what are we going to say about McCarthy if they win the division again and go to the playoffs? Are you going to fire him? It's not like Jason Garrett where it was 8-8 every year. If you're going to the playoffs every single year, I just think that's tough to just fire him. He'll get a job right away. Don't get me wrong. He'll get a job in seconds if they were to let him go.
Well, you know what I think this is a situation of? Like if you're the cap, maybe not the same thing, but you know how we have this argument of like, well, what if Jimmy G brings you to a Super Bowl? Do you keep him or Trey Lance? Yeah. Where it's like Trey Lance might be better, aka Sean Payton, which realistically we know is better than McCarthy, in all honesty. But it's like, well, what if it doesn't work out there? Then you got rid of McCarthy, who was keeping you consistent for this long, blah, blah, blah. To me, it's almost like that situation. Like, I think no matter what, I think you move off of every coach in the NFL, honestly, besides, the greats of, Bill and Andy Reid and, coaches of that nature for Sean Payton. Realistically, but not every team is going to do that. Like the Eagles, obviously, they're happy with Sirianni. Why would you give up 2 firsts if you have Sirianni and everything like that? So it's interesting. I'm interested to see where he goes. I hope it is the Chargers though, because like I said, a pairing with him and Herbert, and then Austin Eckler. I think he has I think Perry said it in the group chat. He has 6 touchdowns or something in his last 4 games.
It's a good spot. Eckler reminds me a lot of Darren Sproles, the guy that Sean Payton.
It's like a Darren Sproles. Who I can only think of his nickname. I can't think of his real name. Muscle Hamster.
Muscle Hamster was Doug Martin.
Don't you get a little Doug Martin, Darren?
Darren Sproles.
Darren Sproles thing from him.
Yeah,
he's definitely I feel like he's more powerful, but has that shifty, receiving back thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I see. Yes, I see a combination of Sproles, a little bit of Pierre Thomas as well, and we know Payton loves to do
shout
that.
Out our guy.
Hey, what's going on, man? Appreciate you stopping by.
Still not forgiving McCarthy for bungling that game against the 49ers last year.
Yeah, it was a lot of.
I still blame Zach a little bit for not sliding earlier. Just saying.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, if you want to go all the way back to like episode 50, we definitely do dive into that debacle in that wild card game. All right, let's talk. Let's go into always good to be here. Yes, sir. Man. Glad to have you. We got the Dolphins and the Bears. This was a really good game. This was a really good game, and man, listen, Justin Fields is guys.
He gets it now. It clicked. It clicked.
It clicked, but it also clicked for the coaching staff.
I was gonna say,
it's just you got a running quarterback. You might want to run the football.
Calling design runs for our super athletic quarterback. Who would have thought that's a good idea?
Yeah. As long as
because we have nobody on the outside for him to actually throw these things to. You might as well keep the football in his hand.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, still had 3 passing touchdowns in this game. I think he only had like 167 yards passing, but I mean, 3 touchdowns through the air.
On the ground. Yeah, buck 48 on the ground.
What was like 178, right? Because he broke Vic's record for most of the game.
Would you mean combined or rushing?
Oh no, yeah, rushing for Fields. He had like 178.
Oh yeah, yes, and he's the goods. He's the goods.
61-yard touchdown run. Where if you see that play too, he fakes him out, flips his hips, takes off. Like that's some athleticism, let me tell you. Because the pump fake and then the scramble for 10 yards is cool. A lot of people can do that. I've seen Brady do that. But I mean, pump fake, flip your hips and jet off. Yeah. Not too many, by the way.
It's a game changer. It's just a game changer for your offense when your quarterback is an elite runner. It just is. It's 11 on 11 now. It's truly 11 on 11 now. It's even, and you just can't sleep on the quarterback. You think everything's all gravy.
Because it negates everything. It negates a pass rush because even if you get there, you can make you miss your roll out of the pocket. It negates good coverage down the field because you can't cover for 15 seconds. I mean, he's escaping that pass rush and he's running to the right. Oh, well, the receiver's going to run with him. Oh, nothing's open. Okay, then I'll take off. It negates man coverage realistically because you always got to leave somebody back. The zone covers. Now a wide receiver can just sit down in the zone. Like it's the ultimate problem to have for a defensive coordinator. Like besides like what the Chiefs had last year with like a great tight end over the middle and somebody who could take the top off because it was like, well, damn, we can't keep a safety deep because now Kelsey's going to come over the middle, and then we can't, keep the middle clear because then Tyreek's going to outrun everybody. Like, besides something like that, like a running quarterback is your number one problem now, because, like I just said, what are you supposed to do? Man, somebody has to be on him. Zone, receiver gets open. Pass rush, cool. I'll just escape the pocket. Good coverage down the field. I'll just keep running around for 20 seconds, wait for a receiver to get open.
1000% agree. And the Bears, they just figured it out. Right? They just figured it out. This guy ran a 4.4 flat at his pro day. So, and they didn't really do a lot of design runs in Ohio State. That really wasn't his game. He kind of just stayed in the pocket, shotgun, do the ball down the field, quick reads, things like that. They did RPO. They did RPO at times. They did RPO, but it wasn't like Lamar Jackson or what we're seeing right now from this Bears offense and how they're unlocking Justin Fields and they're using his legs. Now he's not running for his life. He's running to bring life to the offense. And I think I think that's a great thing that we're seeing right now. You know, they were semi-aggressive making that trade for Claypool. We'll see if they could develop some type of rapport in the
Awful
second
no
half of the
call on
season.
that last play, by the way.
Yeah, it was a bad no call. It was a bad no call. But I just want to see what we see from Fields and Claypool, because they made the move to acquire him, and I want to see that. I want to see that chemistry. You know how that plays out, and then for Miami, it's just a beautiful thing when you see franchises and organizations really care about their quarterback, care about their team, and understand who they have under center and what they need to do to make those guys successful. We saw two at Alabama, and we saw they had Nick Saban put a bunch of fast guys around him and a solid run game around him. And Tua flourished in that type of system. Every quarterback is a system quarterback. Anybody that comes on here and talks about, everybody say, oh, he's just a system quarterback. Anybody that says that, lazy football analysts. They're not really an analyst, because every quarterback plays in a system. FYI, for people that don't.
Every player does.
Like, it's such a, when we see people on TV, they're like, he's a system player. Obviously, every player plays in a
Every
system.
staff
Right?
has a system.
It's cringe.
Some
It's
are just
cringe
more
when I hear that.
complex or better than other systems. But I mean,
Exactly. It's so bad when they make that take. And yeah, I know he only has 3 touchdowns, he's leading the league he's leading the league in receiving yards. Tyreek Hill. I mean, what can we say?
on pace for 2K.
I mean, might get a couple MVP votes. I think he deserves a couple MVP votes. You want to talk about valuable? They made this trade for him. They traded a haul, and not only did they trade a haul, they gave him a bag, and he's completely lived up to this contract so far. He's made life so much easier for Tua Tagovailoa. Just his ability to, obviously the yak. He's made it so much easier for Jalen Waddle, not having to, one go up against the top corner every single Sunday, not seeing double teams every single Sunday. So now he has an ability to go off and beat one-on-ones like he's used to, and he's so talented as well. Gesicki in the seams, making plays now. There were some questions early in the season. He wasn't really clicking with the offense, and now he's doing a great job getting in the red zone. They're going to need him in the red zone. He should be a big-time red zone threat for them with his size, his leaping ability. And, of course, you got to worry about those 2 other guys. So he should definitely get some easy looks in the red area. And there have been some times where he's able to get in the red zone. Obviously, we talked about a couple of weeks ago, we talked about him trying to do the gritty and things like that.
He's doing the dang flabbit.
Yeah, but that's good. That means he's scoring. And I think that's what Mike McDaniel wants. And Mike McDaniel, I know he's different. He has a different personality. It's not what we're accustomed to when we talk about a head coach in the NFL. We're used to a standard, strong, strict guy.
Yeah, he's a nerd.
Yeah, politically correct, has to say all the right things. Yeah, he's different. He's different. He's a nerd. He's a nerd.
Like he's the sitcom TV show high school nerd.
Yeah, that everybody likes. Likes. He's cool with everybody. He blends in with everybody. And I think that's what Mike McDaniel is, because you talked earlier about Herbert and bringing in the offensive coordinator and tying that in because he's a young quarterback. Just because you do that doesn't mean he's a leader of men.
No, not everybody is.
Right. And that right there is what's going to decide whether or not, of course, scheme, X's and O's, things, and of course, all that matters too. But if you're a leader of men, if those 53 guys listen to you every day and believe in you and what you're saying every single day, and they go out there and not only, of course, play for themselves and their families, but they're playing because they know they got somebody that's prepared and every single Sunday for Sunday, and to get those guys ready, of course you're going to ball out. You're going to ball out. And I think that's what we've seen right now with Mike McDaniel. Their defense is a little concerning. They've had some games where they've given up a bunch of points. I look back at that Raven game that they ultimately got the W, but they still gave up a lot of points in that game. And they gave up a lot of points in this game on a Bears team that with even though Fields is immensely talented, they still don't have a lot of offensive weapons to complement him. So for them to get 32 points, it's just they got to clean that up.
Is it that equalizer that we just talked about? Because you just mentioned the two teams they've really struggled against was the Ravens and the Bears. So I mean,
running quarterback, yeah, exactly. Running quarterback could be yes.
It can just be the fact that it is that equalizer. I mean, obviously, you got to worry because that is the type of quarterbacks you're going to play, especially these days. I mean, hopefully Allen, comes through this injury and he's fine. Obviously not the quick, twitchy, fast type of running quarterback, but the run you over, had 94 yards in that Jet game that we'll get to eventually. But I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to deal with Lamar. You'll have to deal with some of these running quarterbacks for sure. But I wonder if it also is that equalizer of that, and then I guess maybe some of the more prototypical quarterbacks will be fine. But yeah,
I never understood the Tua Tagovailoa hate. I never understood the hate.
I didn't.
I never got.
I was too scared of his.
It makes sense to me.
Like him.
You said it was what?
I was too scared of his injuries to like him. The ankle, the hip. First year he got hurt. I was like,
I get that. I mean, I can't, but I'm not gonna hate on a guy because he's injury prone. I think, and you're right. I know. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no, of course.
On social media, I mean, he was getting criticized.
He can't throw.
Right.
They traded for Tyreek, and he's not going to be able to throw the deep ball. And
I
mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Like you do see it occasionally where like Tyreek is open and he'll have to slow down or stop, to catch it.
But see, let me hold on. Let me go before you go. We're over analyzing that so much, and we're only doing that with Tua, and that's my point. There's so many quarterbacks in the NFL that underthrow guys and throw bad passes that wide receivers make up for because they're great. But we're just looking. Anytime Tua throws the ball, I was in the throw. You got to put over his right. You got to put over his right shoulder so he can run. He can run through it. Oh, come on, Tua.
I think the hate was always about his durability. His accuracy was always pretty good.
Always
he is super accurate.
Always been accurate. Always anticipatory throws have always been elite. So yeah, exactly. The durability it's still an issue. He has two concussions in 9 weeks and missed 3 games. So that's
6-0 in games where he starts and finishes. And I believe they're 13-2. I believe they're 13-2 in the last 15 games that he started and finished. So, like I said, you win games, you stay places. And listen, credit to him. Like there was the whole, they're going to trade him away or they're trading for somebody this whole off season. Then you go into the season, you have the Brady thing. You're in the season, you have the concussion stuff, and you have all the outside noise of, he can't throw this anyway, he can't do that. And he's like, listen, I'm gonna do me. And they're 6-3 now, 6-0 in the games that he started and finished. The offense looks fantastic. Tyreek is on pace for 2,000 yards. So, like, what are you supposed to say now?
There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. Now is get to the playoffs. This division is stacked. If you would have told me that all 4 teams in the AFC West will have a record above 500, I'd say you're crazy right now. But it's here. It's true. It's live, and with the injury to Josh Allen, there's a clear opportunity for Miami to to get that number 1 spot in the AFC East, and they already have a win over Buffalo already. So they're in the clear. They're in the clear right now. They just got to take it 1 week at a time. That's that cliche football quote, but they're in a great spot. I just love what they've done. Chris Greer, I'm just a fan of what they did and putting guys around Tua, man, and just not setting him up to fail, but setting him up to succeed. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, killed the chat. You are the chat.
Wow, that's just they don't want to chop it up and drop facts like you, bro. That's just,
exactly. That's a them problem if they're not commenting.
They're lacking. Nah. All right, we got the Panthers and the Bengals. This was a rout.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, I played him in fantasy this week, so of course I lost in a game where I had Tyreek and Devontae Adams. Still lost because Joe Mixon puts up 55.
Because both of those guys went bananas on Sunday.
Unbelievable. Of course, I had to play him this week. I would have beaten everybody else in the league too. Every other player in the league I beat besides the kid that I played this week because he had Joe Mixon. Makes me sick. Absolutely sick. But yeah, like you said, honestly, not much about this game. You just move on. Baker Mayfield came in the second half of this game. Probably be the starter moving forward if I had to imagine, because I think PJ Walker was like 2 of 13 with 2 interceptions in the first half.
Yeah,
it was
bad.
It was
bad. Yeah, it was bad. Baker, I think Sam Darnold's going to get an opportunity to play, bro.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, for sure.
Listen, might be it for Baker, bro. This might be the end. Might be holding a clipboard.
Oh yeah,
for the rest of his career.
I agree.
Yeah.
That I can agree with.
He didn't get a fair shot.
Listen. I think
I don't want to say he didn't get a fair shot.
I think he got screwed.
What you said?
I think he got screwed with the Browns. You go from Freddie Kitchens. No. I'm sorry.
Before that,
you go from who was the first one?
Hugh
Jackson. Freddie Kitchens. Then who's the coach now?
Kevin Stefanski.
Mm-hmm. You lead the team to the playoffs. First one in God knows however long.
25 years, yeah.
Beat the Steelers. Next year, you're injured to all hell, and you still play throughout the entire year. And then you get traded away to a Panther team, which we can see, maybe not very good. And the blame still goes to him. Like, I think he kind of got screwed. Now, has he always played very well? No. And, being the number 1 pick, you obviously thought that he was going to, that's a franchise saver. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. So it definitely didn't live up to those expectations. But, like, I still feel like he kind of got screwed.
When you're a top pick, you're going to a bad team. That's a given. And I will give him credit in that he got the Browns to the playoffs. The Browns went from a laughingstock of sports to
20 years
to relevant. They're relevant even
now.
They're even with Jacoby Brissett under center. They're relevant. They got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, all those guys, Amari Cooper, Myles Garrett, and then
David Njoku's been nice this year.
Njoku's been good. Got the bag, playing well. And then obviously they're getting number 4 back in a couple of weeks. So they're in prime. But it's just,
by the way,
it's tough, man. Listen, I mean,
by the way, very excited for Deshaun's return.
Very excited for Deshaun's return. Yeah,
in a full football capacity.
Of course.
I'm just listen. I gotta put the disclaimer out there.
Yeah. They go try to cancel you, bro.
Yeah,
they go try to cancel you.
Deshaun, I'm back on the field. Kind of excited. Especially because I've stashed him in some fantasy leagues. So,
yes, yeah, it's going to make that division very exciting. That three team race with those 3 guys for the next at least 5 years is going to be.
Did you
incredible?
Now that you just said that, listen, this isn't going to happen because if the Ravens can't come to a contract agreement with Lamar, he's obviously just going to get franchise tag.
Bro.
But did you see the quote from Sean Payton? That was like, I'm a free agent. Lamar could be a free agent. And I was like, interesting.
What's the word?
Imagine they were just like, hey, listen, now this would never happen. And I'm just saying it. But imagine it was just like, hey, Texans, we'll give you a couple firsts. Not this year. So we got the number 1 pick. We'll give you a couple first, Saints. And then, Lamar, why don't you come on over? Start a whole new franchise.
I would advise him not doing that.
I wouldn't.
I would not.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I know.
Picked a team. If they picked a team, they're like, "Hey, Lamar, I like you. I don't know why they won't give you a 250 guaranteed."
Yeah, I don't know why either. It's really laughable. Bengals, they're doing what they need to do. They got to keep winning because Baltimore's still winning, and they have the tiebreaker. And this is a good win for them. And they've had some wins. They've had some really good wins like this throughout the season, and they've had some losses that were their head scratchers. So they're getting on the right track slowly but surely. This was definitely a get right game. We said this last week for for Cincinnati. Green Bay, this we thought not this another one we thought it was a get right game. Ended up being a
Season's over, by the way.
Season's over.
You can pack the Packers up, baby. No pack, no, not go, no. Season's done. Listen, the offense is bad. To be fair, they're also very injured as well. David Bakhtiari is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in NFL history. He's questionable leading up to the game. He'll play in the game like this one. He played the first quarter. Then he was ruled questionable for the rest of the game. He's on the Peloton the entire time, trying to, loosen the knee up or whatever, and then came back into the game with like a minute and 50 seconds left in the fourth quarter on the last drive. So having your left tackle, the man who's making the most money on your offensive line, just consistently like, hey, can you go on this drive or no? Nah, I don't think so. Not on this one. The knee's really barking right now. And, they were kind of talking about it on McAfee with Rappaport, where it's kind of like, I think it's more of a situation of he's healthy, but he doesn't trust the knee. Because listen, everybody looks at injuries as in, all right, the doctor cleared you, you go back out there, you're ready to go, whatever. But you talk to any athlete or things like that, or people have been hurt like that. It is always that mental hurdle as well, where it's like, yeah, you cleared me, but then why doesn't my knee feel normal? And to them, it's like, listen, sorry to break it to you, pal, but this is your new normal. And I think that's, in my head at least, that's what Bakhtiari is going through, where it's like, listen, my knee just doesn't feel right. And they're like, listen, your knee structurally is fine. It's never going to feel like it did before ever again. Sorry, you played football. Like you were saying earlier when we were talking about Tua. It's a contact sport. It's a rough sport. People get hurt all the time. So, this is your new normal. So you got to, mentally work through that. It's kind of like when, they always say when running backs come back from ACLs or Achilles or things like that. It's that first cut. You got cleared by the doctor, but, you go back out onto the field and it's like, oh, my gosh, I got to try and juke this guy out. All right, fine, screw it. Got to test the knee out. And you really plant, you push off with that leg where it's like, oh, it's not going to fall off. And I think that's kind of what Bakhtiari is going through. And the fact that it's your left tackle, the guy who's protecting Rodgers' blind side. And then, even for Rodgers, you're seeing it now where the frustration is kind of boiling over. That one interception he threw, I think it might have been his third one, where he tried to fit it into a really tight window in the, passing down the field, letting out a big scream on the field, pumping the fist, looking frustrated.
That was the last one, right down the middle.
Yeah, yep, down the middle.
Go to Tanya.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because the first interception I think is bad luck. Bounces off of a helmet. Okay. The second one, it was supposed to be a block and release for Bakhtiari. Yeah, right. From Bakhtiari. First of all, you're on the goal line with A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. Why are you doing a block and run with David Bakhtiari?
No, it's a good play because of what you just said. They're thinking they're going to go to.
I know,
AJ
but
Aaron Jones. It just failed because they brought the pressure and
he underthrew it by 15 yards.
Well, yeah. Because he got pressure and he had to throw it off his back foot. He couldn't get as much air on it, and Aiden Hutchinson made a hell of a play.
Packers remind me so much of New England during Brady's last year. They will have some huge decisions to make this offseason. Vic said Aaron screwed the Packers over. I'm just going to say it. He won't make plays, doesn't want to give his receiving core a chance, doesn't want to work with the team or be a leader. And Aaron is so overpaid the Packers can't put pieces around him. Gridiron and Vic. I was going to say, there's nothing for me to say that's I can't believe you would say that. The Brady and Patriot thing is very true, except the Patriots made the playoffs that season. The Packers are dead. They're not making the listen. If they make the playoffs, I genuinely will be shocked if they make the playoffs. And don't get me wrong, and we'll get to the Bucs game as well. And yes, they did win this week. They still didn't look very good. We're getting to the point where it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. They're going to figure it out. And we say that because they've been figuring it out literally our entire lives. As long as I can remember football, Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady have been figuring it out. You lose a game that you're not supposed to lose, and you're like, oh, what's happening? What's going on? And then it's okay, never mind. We're going to win 4 games in a row now. They figure it out. I don't think there's figuring it out. The Packers are hurt on defense. Like Vic said. I know. Like Vic said, I don't think he trusts his receiving core. And I mean, even the one that he has, Cobb, he probably trusts the most. He's out. Christian Watson or Walker?
Yeah.
He can't stay healthy. Romeo
Yeah,
Dobbs on the first play of the game, I think he got hurt. So you have Alan Lazard and Robert Tonyan, and then even late in the game, Aaron Jones got hurt, which, we've said it over and over again. Last year in that playoff game against the 49ers, he threw, I believe, 20 of his 28 passes to either Adams or Aaron Jones. So that's obviously another guy he trusts in the passing game who wasn't playing in that game. So,
But when are we gonna? Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. I was saying, it just doesn't get better to me. Like, I don't see there's no fix because I don't think Odell's coming here. Adams isn't walking through the door again.
That's over. Yeah, that's done.
Yeah. There's CJ. You know what I look at it as, and
unless they do a trade back.
I look at it almost in a baseball perspective because I think it's like a very easy one to make. I mean, you could do it in football as well, but like this year, Jacob deGrom for the Mets, probably one of the best pitchers in baseball history, hurt the entire season, and people were like, oh, they need to trade for a pitcher, but deGrom came back right at the trade deadline, so it's almost like you went out and traded for that star pitcher. And that's not happening with the Packers. It's not like Devontae Adams is recovering from an ACL injury and he's coming back week 10. Like, oh my, we got to just weather the storm until week 10. He'll come back. There's nobody walking through the door, and you can't trust anybody on your receiving core now. So nothing changes.
Yeah, nothing changes. And again, listen, I know we're going to get on Rodgers, and Rodgers is he's an easy guy to critique. He's different. He doesn't have his thoughts are not doesn't fall along a line with maybe what a lot of people think. But when are we gonna put some heat on this Packers front office?
Oh, absolutely.
They haven't drafted a first round wide receiver ever. So I mean, you would think losing D-Hop would be the inaugural season of, getting a wide receiver in the first round. And it's not like over the last 3-4 years, we've been deprived of elite talent in the first round. Out of the first round, we've seen nothing but greatness.
Listen, DK slipped to the second.
Yeah, AJ Brown too. Devontae Adams too. Stephon Diggs. A lot of guys dropped to the second. A lot of great guys fell to the second round, but they still haven't been able to find a guy. I think Romeo Dobbs was a 4th round pick. I think Watson was a 2nd round pick, but again, he just hasn't been able to stay healthy, like you said. This is Vic. The Packers have the toughest closing schedule in the league, even if they picked up some no name from the AFL that is actually good. The Packers may end the season with 3 more wins. That's a great point that falls right into what I was going to say, Vic. Shout out to you, brother. They play Dallas, Tennessee,
loss,
Philly,
loss,
Chicago,
win,
Rams. That's 50-50. Yeah. It's just both teams are so mid. And Dolphins and Miami, Vikings again. Vikings already got 1 win over them.
Loss.
And Lions to finish out the season.
I'll give them a win.
So yeah, that's like 3 wins. Right? That's just like 3 wins right there, like Vic just said. I'd probably say, maybe Titans could be a dub too. Maybe if Tannehill comes back. I just think Malik Willis, you got to give him some time. Can't have him
tough to watch.
It was tough to watch, but can't expect him to be an all-world guy.
Oh,
second game as a starter.
Completed 5 passes.
Yeah. I mean, he got to lock in. And then who's he throwing the ball to? AJ Brown? Oh yeah, that's
nobody.
Right. But yeah, they'll figure it out over there. But for Green Bay's sake, I don't know. And Rodgers, sure, Rodgers could be a leader and galvanize those guys and play a part in helping those guys play better, unlocking those young receivers, getting the most out of them. This is things that we've seen Brady do over the course of his 20-plus year career in New England. But he's not Brady. He's never been Brady. And this is why when people play the comparison game and say Rodgers is better than Brady during their prime, people always look to Aaron Rodgers' talent being more talented, the arm strength, the ability to make the off-schedule throws, the improvisation, and the kind of the background football, backyard football style that Rodgers brings that makes it more exciting to watch if you're a football fan. I get that, but we also got to talk about the intangibles too. When we talk about this game of football, bro, it's also a team game, and you need intangibles with talent. You need both. And Brady had that. Brady had the intangibles. Obviously his intangibles superseded his talent because he wasn't the most athletic guy, but he did the other things, and that's what made him great. Rodgers, never in that category. So when people play that football math, if Aaron Rodgers was being coached by Bill Belichick,
he would have won 10 Super Bowls.
No.
And when people said that, taking a discount his entire career like Brady did.
Intangibles.
I mean, you're on more ayahuasca than Rodgers.
You think Rodgers and Brady? I mean, you think Rodgers and Belichick is going to have a 20-year love fest? Yeah, right. Exactly. Again, people try to play that football math, bro. That Madden math, and Madden's trash. So that should already tell you how that's going to play out. I feel it's great. I feel like the Packers receivers never went at the line. A bunch of Todd Pinkstons out there. Wow, Todd, I haven't heard that in a minute. Yeah, they can't create separation. Their releases aren't great. They have Dobbs is fast, but it doesn't matter how fast you are if you can't get off the line, like you just said. So it's been a tough watch for Green Bay this year. And Rodgers is going to get all the heat and all the criticism for it just because of who he is and the things that he's talked about over these last couple of years. So he's an easy target, and when you're losing, people are going to pounce on you, and that's what's happening right now. So I agree. I just don't see them making the playoffs, and with the injuries they have on defense too. So that's not even something they could fall back on, push come to shove, even though they did, hold the Lions to 15 points. But yeah, it's tough season for Green Bay, and I think Rodgers needs to play better. But I'm not just going to sit here and say the Green Bay front office just shouldn't get any type of criticism, or we shouldn't be looking at them like, what are you doing? Why are you not being aggressive? You weren't going to keep Devontae Adams. You should have made a move. You have Aaron Rodgers. He's 37, 38 years old. He probably has a year or two left in the league, if that. He's probably on a year-to-year basis, and you're not going to put an elite wide receiver around him after losing the best wide receiver in football in an offseason. You don't put anybody around him, not even one guy. So I have to look at them too. I can't just get on Rodgers and call Rodgers this and that. And Aaron Rodgers is more NFL Streets Volume 4. Great game, cool game breaker mechanics, awesome wall run ability, but not big enough for a continuous franchise. That's hilarious. Yeah, he probably can't even do NFL Street Volume 4 anymore. He's getting up there. That's probably Mahomes. Shout out NFL Streets. Great game. What a game. Timeless game.
I was a big fan of Blitz back in the day.
Lawrence Taylor on the cover. Classic.
Football would be on fire.
The football would be on fire. You could break limbs as soon as you get that big hit, that graphic, that switch graphic.
You could literally kill somebody in the game.
No, seriously. Like it was bad.
Literally.
It was bad. We should not have been playing that game at like 11.
Hey, Mom, can I play?
Yeah, I was like, "Is this football?" I was like,
something like operation
that.
To me.
Yeah, I was like something like that. We got the Raiders and the Jaguars.
Ooh.
Jaguars get the dub in this one.
17-0 lead the Raiders had, I believe, at halftime, if not at one point in the game.
At one point in third, third, and then Jacksonville came back and got the W. These guys don't. These guys don't. They don't believe in Josh McDaniels. Here we are. This is part 2. This is Denver all over again. This is Denver. Now you want to give Devontae Adams. Now Devontae Adams gets 10 receptions for $140. Now,
CJ, but you know what the problem is? You know what the problem is?
It's ridiculous.
You know what the problem is? I think he finished with 10 for 146
Right.
and 2 touchdowns. He had 9 catches for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. He got 1 catch for 16 yards in the second half of the game. Do you not see what happened in the first half of the game? And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that they were covering different because they were like, well, listen, we just gave up 130 yards to him. Probably can't do that again for another half. I don't think that's very sustainable. But I mean, there had to be a way to get him the ball more. And
Of course there's a way. Of course there's a way, bro.
And listen, I like Carr. I really do. I thought he would play a lot better this year. There were a couple of throws to Adams where it's like, okay, that one was a little high, maybe catchable, but a little high. And then there was a play in the back of the end zone where he had I believe it was Brandon Bolden open for a touchdown, and he underthrew it.
Brandon Bolden, former Pat.
Yes, sir. Where, he underthrew that one. So, and CJ, I was curious about something because I was like, I feel like this defense should be a little bit better. I mean, they're not very good, and they just released, I think was it Abrams today? They had just released.
They released Abrams?
I believe so.
I missed that.
I know they released some safety. I want to say it is him. I could be wrong. And I see you looking it up here. So let me know if I'm wrong on that. But here's my other thing. CJ, I'll let you guess. How many sacks do you think Chandler Jones has?
I'm gonna say 2.
A half.
Like a half a sack?
Half a sack. So I mean, listen, we look at all these offseason moves of like, oh my gosh, the Chargers got Khalil Mack and the Raiders got Chandler Jones, and
he did get cut, bro. Wow, he did.
Have you seen the first round picks from Mike Mayock? Henry Ruggs arrested. That cornerback he drafted got arrested.
Arnett,
Yep, Arnett. Leatherwood got released. Abrams.
Colin Farrell.
They declined his 5th-year option. And they declined Josh Jacobs' 5th-year option, which they're obviously going to regret now because he's playing like an absolute demon. But, so first of all, they screwed up those drafts. But anyway, at least you saw Khalil Mack in the Charger game make an impact. And even the first game of the season, remember the first game of the year with the Chargers, getting some sacks on I want to say they played the Chiefs the first game of the season, right? Getting sacks on Mahomes.
No, not the first game.
No?
No.
Yeah, you're right. Well, whatever. I know, Khalil has at least made an impact for the Chargers.
Yes.
Chandler Jones is half a sack.
Oh, Chandler Jones. I look back at the numbers last year, and even in Arizona, Chandler Jones had a great first half of the season, and then the second half was very bad. I think he's he's getting up there. He's getting up there in age. CJ Pop says it was foretold New York would be 12-5. Ha! Tell Big Senior, man, lay off the alcoholic beverages, man. lay off that, brother. Come on now, 12-5. Come on, Big, stop it, bro.
Son said, lay off the alcohol.
Lay off the couple drinks, man. Come on, 12-5. Yak. Gosh, Zach Wilson? Stop it, Shaq.
Mr. Inconsistency.
Yeah, stop that. But good win for Jacksonville. I'm looking at this 2021 the quarterback class right now. This is we got 2 years. Just 2 years. Let's go through it a little bit right now. So we're in a year and a half away for both 5 of these quarterbacks. Justin Fields, we know what it is. I think he has the highest upside out of everybody. That clearly seems to be evident right now based on what we've seen over the last couple of weeks. Trevor Lawrence, listen, last year was a wash. We've talked about that for whatever circumstances they were. This year, better, not out of this world, but much better. I think next year, I definitely want to see if he could get this team to the playoffs. It's so, I don't want to say easy because the Tennessee, Mike Vrabel, man,
hell of a coach,
unbelievable. But still, even with Vrabel being as excellent as he is, Jacksonville should still be able to keep it competitive, and they're playing solid. They have some good wins this year. And I didn't expect much from them this year anyway. So that's why I said next year.
I already forgot that Ridley got traded here.
Is such a big pickup. Yes, it does. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, it just falls along with what I'm saying right now. And Zach Wilson,
I'm good.
Last year it was tough. It was
a lot
tough.
Of injuries.
Lot of injuries. The play wasn't great. This year they
injured again,
but they have a system in place now that impacts winning, and all he needs to do is just not turn the ball over, just like what he did against Buffalo, and they got the dub. No turnovers, and they get the W. I mean, it's just when is that light bulb going to turn on for that young man? Because I do see some solid plays here and there, and then I also see what I saw against New England last week. So that's my thoughts on Zach. Trey Lance obviously hurt, and I don't know what to say about that, bro.
Yeah.
He got hurt his second game. He got hurt his second game as the guy. That's unfortunate. So we'll see next year. I talked about Fields, and then Mac Jones. It's perfect, seamless transition into this Colts Patriot game. Before we go into the Patriots, let's talk about the Colts. Big news: Frank Wright getting fired. But not only that, Jim Irsay goes and hires Jeff Saturday.
ESPN GOAT.
Former head coach in the NFL? No. Right? Former OC, right? Got to be OC in the NFL, right?
No.
Oh,
CJ,
so defensive coordinator.
No.
Assistant head coach?
No, can't say he was.
No, it wasn't that.
No.
Okay,
no.
He came from college.
CJ, you won't believe. CJ, you won't believe this.
Oh, what's his ranking? What's his highest coaching ranking?
CJ, you won't believe this. He didn't coach in college either.
Oh my God. So. Listen, I'm not mad at Jeff Saturday. This is bigger than Jeff Saturday. This is so much bigger than Jeff Saturday. And I'm not a guy that likes to, play that card. Everybody knows what card I'm talking about. But it's just the process is just so weird to me, man. The process was no interviews, no hiring it's just. Do you want your resume? No, don't worry about the resume. You don't have to put that resume in. Don't worry about that, champ. You're good. You got it already. You got it. Interview. What's that?
Never heard of her.
Crazy. And so that was some of my first thoughts when I saw it. And then over time, I started to think a little bit more about it, and I was like, bro, I'm telling myself, I'm like, yo, bro, like this. You shouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't really be surprised when you own a team. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. Yes, you can.
when it's yours, you could do whatever you want.
This is like a G.I. Joe to them.
Yeah,
take it out and play with it when you want.
Yeah, I can't get mad. I'm not gonna sit here and go on a 10-minute rant like these guys on ESPN and just cry and yell about the same thing over and over again. It's no point because it's nothing Roger Goodell could do. Roger Goodell, he's not the hierarchy is he's under the owner. So what is Roger Goodell going to do? No, Jim Irsay, you can't do this. Huh?
He'd be voted out in the next negotiation.
Yeah, it's over. Exactly. He loses his job. So he's not doing that. Owners are going to do what they want. Jeff Saturday, one of the best. Jim Irsay is beyond out of touch. This is gridiron. Everyone knew Belichick was going to crush Ellinger, but somehow he was the last to know. He was the last to know. I don't think he was the last to know. I think he knows. I think they're preparing themselves to get a quarterback, and this is what I said they should have done from the jump. Saturday, one of the best centers in my generation, what him and Peyton Manning did during those years in Indianapolis were incredible. And then he had that 1 year in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers before he retired, and we saw him on ESPN. Now, I will give Jim Irsay he hired Tony Dungy when Tony Dungy should have never got fired by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He should have never lost that job. And he lost that job and lost it to John Gruden. But then Jim Irsay hired Tony Dungy, and we know the rest is history. First African-American head coach to win a Super Bowl. So people want to come out and say whatever they want to say, and when they throw that card out there, it's just it's tough to do that because he has
He was the
some
one.
diversity. Then not only did he have Tony Dungy, after Tony Dungy hired Jim Caldwell, who also had a really good solid couple seasons for the Colts before obviously Peyton got hurt in the luck situation and all that transpired. So he's shown more. He has a resume of diversity in terms of his head coaching hires. So I can't sit here and go off the wall and go crazy. I just still, to me, the process is still flawed, but this is his team. No one's gonna tell him what to do. You can't tell me nothing. Like on graduation, you can't tell me nothing, bro. And it's my bread, it's my team, and I'm cool with Jeff Saturday. I feel like Jeff Saturday. He feels like Jeff Saturday is going to be a motivator of men. I think Jeff Saturday's game plan is whenever every time he talks. Kind of went up. No, you're good, bro. Every time I listen to Jeff Saturday, when I saw him on Get Up or I saw him on First Take, he's an old lineman, so he loves the trenches. He loves talking about the trenches and playing inside out, and that's the way you need to play. So I hear when I hear that, I hear Jonathan Taylor. That's all I hear, and that's what they need to do. I would not rush him back. There's no need to rush him back. You're not going anywhere this season with 8 games left, and with Sam Ellinger as your quarterback. So they need to. If they don't need to rush Jonathan Taylor back, that's your franchise. Make sure he's good. I'm not saying tank, but I'm saying just make sure he's fresh, bro. There's no point in him using up all those carries when we already know the shelf life for a running back is limited. So the less is more in the season. Yes, but for Pierce it's a little different because he hasn't proved as much as JT. So he has to put that pain in a little bit more. But I agree. He's pretty much running for nothing. Essentially, he is running for something. He's gonna get bread, but in terms of winning, they're not gonna win. But so yeah, Jeff Saturday, I like what he brings to the table in terms of how he wants to play based on what the things he said on ESPN, because that's all we can go off of, because literally has no other coaching, no other resume when it comes to
just Madden.
Yeah, just Madden. So we'll see how it plays out. He's interim head coach, not guaranteed for the rest of the season, but listen to Jim Irsay in that press conference, introductory press conference, it seems like he's going to be the guy. I give him credit for sticking with Chuck Pagano, but last week Irsay said Reich was safe when then they lost a game that was expected to be a loss. Most observers, and then Reich got fired. Yeah, Reich was he 40 and 33 in 5 years as a head coach. Solid. Had a different starting quarterback every single year. Every single year is the coach.
You could almost make a case that is amazing that he was that good.
I mean, he still has solid quarterback play though. He still has solid quarterback play. Solid, decent, average. I'm changing adjectives crazy by the second. But
also you can kind of look at it this way. You can kind of look at it this way. It's another thing that proves how important the quarterback is. Because you could look at his record and just see as the quarterback play declines, so did the record. They go 10-6 with Rivers. Nobody liked Wentz. They go 9-8. And then this year they've been awful. And who's been awful? Matt Ryan and Sam Ellinger. So, is he a bad head coach, or is it like, do you see what I'm working with? You gave me a stopgap Philip Rivers, you gave me a stopgap Wentz, and you gave me a stopgap Matt Ryan. I just feel you can almost look and be like, "Damn, you were a positive head coach. That's impressive."
Yeah, he's going to get a shot somewhere else.
Oh yeah, he'll be an offensive coordinator next season.
Yeah, he'll be an offensive coordinator, and then that'll potentially propel him into another head coaching job. I completely agree with you there. But even for Jeff Saturday now, it doesn't matter. Even if their identity is running the football and playing inside out, like I talked about, you still need a quarterback in.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be the deal breaker for the Colts. They haven't been able to find a guy in 4 years, and it would help them immensely if they're able to find that guy. There's a couple guys in college right now. There's a guy from Kentucky. I'm blanking on his name right now, but he's really good. I talked about him, the hooker. He struggled last week against Georgia, but it's Georgia. Bryce Young, When the draft talks start to come around, I could see it now. They're gonna talk about his size. They're gonna talk about how small he is. They're gonna talk about his lack of. They're gonna say he has lack of arm strength. I see all those criticisms for Bryce Young already. I could see it now. So when April comes around, I would not be surprised by those narratives. CJ Stroud, solid, solid guys. So they need to get a quarterback. No, like you said, no more stopgaps. It's time to get a guy. It's time to get a guy, and you got to lose these next games. You got to lose the rest of these. I mean, you got to tank essentially. I mean, it's like,
yeah. I mean, you're looking.
You can't be good. You can't play well for the rest of the season. You can't. And Colts fans, seeing some Colts fans on my timeline. I got a couple guys on the timeline that are Colts fans, and I think from what I've seen, based on some of their tweets and how they reacted to everything over these last couple of weeks, I just think they're ready for this transition, and I think it's good. It's good. You just have to get ready for this transition. I think it's needed. I think they're tired of the ups and the ebbs and flows of having a guy, thinking you had a guy, but then you don't have a guy. So I think it's I think Colts fans are definitely ready for this transition, and I think ultimately, hopefully, it works out for them if they get the right guy in the center. But back to this game,
CJ, well, even though just real quick, building on that, like first of all, the Jeff Saturday thing, super weird. I was watching The Perfect Show to have that breaking news. I was watching McAfee. They had Rappaport on when it happened, and just seeing everybody's reaction of like, "Are you serious?" And they all start laughing and things like that, blah blah blah. And then you listen to the press conference too. It's like it's weird because you kind of hear it and Irsay saying like, "Well, I'm glad that he doesn't have any coaching experience because he's not scared. He's not going to run the analytics and things like that." And talking all the I just want a football guy as the coach. Kind of what he's saying. And I mean, listen, I can't be mad at him because I'm the one who always sits up here and says analytics are stupid. Now, would I go and, hire somebody with no NFL coaching experience? Probably not. But I'll also say this in a weird way. He is a center. So, like, you got to be a hell of a smart person to be a center. You got to know all the cadences. You got to know all the, what's the word I'm looking for? Audibles. You got to know all the audibles. You got to know all the cadences.
Let's pick up signals.
Exactly. So, like, you're obviously hiring a smart person. And I know he had been a consultant with the team for a while. So, maybe he knows a little bit more about the team than we would originally think. But the other problem is, they have nobody on the coaching staff who's ever called a play. Nobody. Not a single person on that coaching staff that remains has ever called a play in the NFL.
I think he should keep Reggie Wayne and make Reggie Wayne his offensive coordinator.
Well, apparently they made some assistant to somebody I would have to look it up.
Okay.
But they made like some assistant who, like I said, had never called plays, the interim offensive coordinator.
So it's not Reggie Wayne.
No, it's some dude I've never seen in my life.
Yeah.
Jeff Saturday names Parks Frazier. New play caller starting week 10.
Maybe he's trying things out. Hey, why not? Why not audition? What else? What else is there to lose? They don't have anything else to lose. The season is done for Indianapolis. So I don't know if that's set in stone for.
So before this, he was the pass game specialist / assistant QB's coach.
Yeah, I would go with Reggie Wayne.
They have John Fox on the staff.
Oh, they do.
John Fox is like one of the not on the staff.
Senior advisors.
Yeah, he's like an advisor. Why wouldn't you?
As a head coach? No, we've seen that story already.
Not as head coach, but like
maybe DC. Could be a DC. Be a good DC.
At least he has head coaching experience.
Yeah, he could be a good DC for them. Maybe they bring Pagano back. I don't know. I don't know what. I have no idea what.
This is I've never seen a more out of left field thing in my entire life. Like I read that and because CJ, you know Twitter. You know how sometimes you get like the tweets from like some random account and like it's like, oh, things you might want to know. Like stuff like that. You ever get those on Twitter?
Oh yeah.
I clicked and it said from Adam Schefter, but like you've seen like the fake accounts and stuff like that.
Yes.
I clicked on it, I was like, oh, that's not real. I was like, there's no fucking way. I clicked on it and it was Adam Schefter, and I clicked on the profile again to make sure, and it had the blue check, and I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah. It was very crazy. It was definitely some news I did not expect.
And then the other worst part about it is too, CJ, you're right. They do have to lose the rest of the games because right now they're 3-5-1, which is not very good.
Yeah.
They have the 14th pick in the draft. 14th. You're not getting anything with the 14th pick in the draft. I mean, you got because technically that tie helps them because it's basically like a win. So I mean, all the other 3 and 5 teams are ahead of them. The 3 and 6 teams, the 2 and 6 teams, Carolina 2 and 7, and then 1 6 and 1 Houston. So like, they have the 14th pick right now. So it's not even like we're all saying, oh, they need a quarterback. Yeah, I hope you're ready to trade this year's first and the next 3 because you're not getting one at 14.
Whatever they got to do, they need it. They need it, bro. Gridiron. I love Jeff Saturday, but isn't the offensive line the worst unit on the team right now? I love the move, but just saying. Well, I mean, if that's the case, then that's good. I mean,
I think they're the highest paid offensive line in the NFL, and they have been terrible.
Yeah, Q Nelson hasn't been great this year. Ryan Kelly, they've struggled. The whole team has struggled. So this is a good. I don't know about the hire. Again, the process is weird, but overall, in terms of what the Colts are doing, in terms of a reset and a reload, very necessary. But in this game against the Patriots, Sam Ehlinger, I mean, he didn't really have a lot of time to work with. Matt Judon had a field day on this guy. I believe we had 8 sacks.
9.
We had 9. It was right after jump. We had 9 sacks. Judon had 3.
11.5 on the season.
11.5. Yeah, he's balling. He balled out first half of the season last year and kind of tailed off. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year. I'm hoping he keeps it going because we're gonna need him because looking at our offense, we got to pray. And
pray ain't even the word.
Speaking of the offense, I don't know. I just don't know what the direction is at all. I just don't know what the direction is. I don't know. I don't know because let me read you something real fast.
Okay.
This is a little stat right here that I just happened to find.
Just stumbled upon?
Yeah, it just just stumbled across this stat right here. I just want the people of the hard count to know. So this is John O. Smith stats for you. I just want to
brother
for the season. So let's throw this out here right now. 16. This is week 9. This is week 9, by the way. Week 9 scores we got here on the graphic for our viewers. In 9 weeks.
Yep.
16 catches.
Not good.
154 yards.
Not what you want.
0 touchdowns. And then let's look at Hunter Henry.
You sure?
He played good on Sunday. Finally got an opportunity to showcase his skills. On the season, 19 receptions, 240 yards.
Not what you want.
1 touchdown. So our tight end group, right, that we paid the most 2 years ago, they have 35 receptions combined, less than 500 receiving yards combined, and 1 touchdown combined between both tight ends. When we need red zone, when we could use both of those guys in the red zone.
Now, CJ, are you telling me that's not what you want?
It's absolutely. It's of course not. Of course not.
Oh, okay. Just wanted.
And
can I read you a quote real quick?
It's crazy.
Yeah, read you a quote. It kind of goes perfectly with this, by the way. Now I don't know if you saw it. I sent it into the group chat.
No, I didn't see that.
This is from Bill Belichick, our head coach.
How recent is this? What is this?
This is I I believe this was today.
Okay.
He said it's almost like CJ Mosley heard the play in the huddle. He was so fast. Bill Belichick, when asked if defenses know what's coming, saying Shaq Leonard for sure did. The Colts and the Jets were the Patriots' last two opponents, and the Jets are up again after the bye. So not only, because this is what that quote means to me, not only is the offense terrible, what you just said, the tight ends are useless. Mac is all right. Ramondre Stevenson's a bright spot. The wide receivers, I'd rather go to Kmart and find somebody else. Not only is the offense bad, but it's predictable. Your last two opponents, you just going to basically know what's happening. So your offense is bad because it has no talent on it, and you're predictable. You want to talk about a rock and a hard place. Listen, if you're going to be predictable, you got to have Cooper Kupp and players like that. Because hey, listen, even when you're predictable as all hell, I'm still going to beat you because I'm just better than you.
Yes.
And if you're not going to have the talent, then you can't be predictable. Okay, we're going to throw in a flea flicker. We're going to throw in a reverse here. We're going to have some people running double moves, things of that nature. Both. Yeah,
crazy,
okay.
It's very frustrating. I wasn't a fan of the Patricia hire or promotion.
I don't know if you follow Dan Orlovsky on Twitter.
I don't follow him, but I see his tweets. I see him in the NFL.
He's doing full breakdowns of why the Patriots offense is awful. Like he showed a play.
Check that out.
He showed a play.
He had tweets.
You want to see if I can pull up the tweet?
Oh yeah, sure. That'd be great.
You go ahead. I'm going to see if I can pull up this tweet here.
All right, perfect. Matt Patricia, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're doing, brother. I don't. I wish I did. I really wish I understood what your mindset is in preparation for throughout the week, because you have two tight ends that you paid, north of $100 million combined. I don't have the exact number on hand, but north of $100 million combined, and they only have 35 receptions combined in 9 weeks and 1 touchdown. You can't get those guys to football. That's not acceptable. That's not acceptable to me. It's really not. It's really not. Mac Jones.
You want to see it?
Oh yeah. Let's say before I go to Mac, bro.
Let me click for
you go share screen this? Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
All right, perfect.
Let's go right here. Let me know if you can hear it.
Yo, I see the first line. He said, "This is the NFL?" Question mark.
Yeah. Let me know if you can hear it well.
Everyone wants to tell me this Mac Jones in New England. Dude, this is 3rd and 4. Like 3rd and 4. First of all, great motion happens.
They got a little double echo, bro.
Now just watch this.
Got double echo? Oh, my bad. Hold on.
You mean to tell me the quarterback can't play, guys?
There you go.
It's 3rd and 4. He catches the snap and he's ready to throw now. There's one person looking for the ball. Still a single human looking for the ball. He wants to throw the one-on-one route down to the bottom of the screen. What? When can he throw that guy the ball? He has to look for it. How about this spacing here? Gosh, can't believe he didn't throw that ball to those guys. This quarterback stinks. No, you're right. That's the guy. Where's he supposed to throw the football? It's all over their tape. Everyone wants to tell me this Mac Jones. This is 3rd and 4.
It's a good tweet. It's a good tweet.
It's awful. Like,
I mean, he's really saying is Matt Patricia's terrible at his job. That's what he's saying without saying it. And,
nobody's surprised, by the way. Not me.
And I agree. And what he's saying about Mac and those guys is factual. It's factual. But KB was wide open.
Terrible. We're looking at different things.
KB was wide open. It was clogged, bro. It was clogged over there on that right side. It was very clogged. He could have definitely threw that to KB, but it was. I mean, like what was Henry and what was that on the other side? What were they doing? It was like a 3-man. It was trips on the right.
3 people within 3 yards of each other.
Yeah, exactly. They had trips on the right side, and all those guys looked like they was running the same route. It was insane. But still, it's not an excuse for Mac. Mac still needs to play better. I do think the play calling and the offensive coordinator, and not only do we not have a offensive coordinator, who's the quarterback coach? Wow, you would think he'd have some type of experience in being a quarterback coach, right? None, zero at all. And that's my problem. And that's my problem with Bill. And I like Bill. I love Bill. That's my guy. Bill's my guy. But he pretty much owns the team, right? Yeah, we could say that, right? He pretty much owns the team. And you can't tell him. I mean, Kraft allegedly, the only time Kraft stepped in and did something was during the
Jimmy G. Brady thing.
Right. That allegedly. That was the only time he forced his hand. And
he was right, by the way.
As of course he was right, of course. But this is unacceptable right here, bro. You don't even hire at least a coordinator with some type of cachet or some type of resume for your second year quarterback. It's unacceptable. It just is. Mac does need to make better reads. He does need to make better reads. There are some guys open, and during those in some plays, there are some guys open where he's just looking at one guy too long in terms of, as opposed to resetting his feet and looking elsewhere quick enough. He just hasn't done a great job of that this year. I'm not about to go. I'm not one of these fans that's like, oh, Zappy. I just don't see how he makes our team any better. One, we're not play callers. Doesn't matter for play callers. Two, we have no idea what the process right now with Mac. They have a bye week. We'll see it right now. I would say the Pats are achieving right where it's, bro. How are the pull the two back up, because he made a couple points. He said one, we're not play callers.
Is that a good play call though?
Okay, we're not play callers. So what? So we haven't been able to score in the first quarter. We scored 15 points in the first quarter in 9 weeks. Okay, so I'm just saying, bro. I'm just going off the stats, bro. I don't got to be a play caller to see that the offense is not working. Two, we have no idea what the process is right now for Mac. So they changed the offense. I don't know why Matt Patricia changed the offense. I don't get it. Changed the offense, more shotgun, more stretch runs, more zone runs.
Yeah, they changed to a zone blocking scheme.
Why? I don't know. Where did he come up with that system? He literally never ran a system before as a offensive head coach. Where did he come up with that? No clue. They have a bye week and we'll see, and we will see right now. We'll say the Pats are achieving right where we thought. How are they achieving right where we thought, bro? When we haven't seen Buffalo yet. We'll see what happens with Josh Allen and that UCL injury. But if he's healthy, those are tough games. We got Minnesota coming up. I know Kirk Cousins is a master seller, but right now they're playing well. So we could catch them on a bad night.
Our only hope is that prime time, and Kirk is like a vampire.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I was about to say we catch them on a bad night and it's prime time, but if it's just a regular Sunday, 1:00 Sunday or 4:25 game, I don't know, champ. I don't know. I'm not a fan of our outside. Did you not hear that, bro? You said we're not playing. Did you not hear the stats I just said for Jonathan Smith and Hunter Henry?
Well, say it one more time for me, CJ. Combined what?
15 receptions. I mean, 35 receptions between both guys in 9 weeks. I don't know, bro. Something. I need an explanation for that, Corey. I need an explanation for that, bro. There is none. I need that from somebody. 8.5 was the over under. Fine, 5-4 right now. Got to see Miami, Buffalo twice.
Vikings, the Raiders.
Jets after the bye. Raiders.
Cardinals.
I don't know. I mean, you could. Yeah, that is Patricia's fault, of course, bro. I mean, bro.
Having Patricia or Joe Judge being the play caller of this team was always going to be coaching malpractice. That is what that is. There is no reason in the almighty world that we are living on right now that Matt Patricia or Joe Judge should ever be an offensive coordinator of a team that you think is actually going to be good in the NFL.
In the red zone, we're terrible. One of the worst teams in the red zone, Corey. You know all these stats, bro. You're a stat guy. One of the worst teams in the red zone. One of the worst teams. And you got two guys 6'5" and up, and they can't even get the ball in the red zone. Jonnu Smith can't get any red zone plays. Hunter Henry can't get any red zone play. Hunter Henry had 10 touchdowns last year. He got 1 right now in 9 weeks. What the like, yo? What?
See, that's the thing. How did he look good with the other QB? He had 10 touchdowns last season. He looked good with Mac last season when it wasn't Matt Patricia.
Yeah. I can't explain it, bro. I just can't explain it. I would think at least Hunter Henry would be the constant from an outside weapon standpoint. The relationship he had with Mac, and I was like, all right, cool. At least him and KB. I thought him, KB, and Jacoby. I was like, all right, they're not gonna be Pro Bowl guys, but if I could get 700, maybe 800 receiving yards from KB and Jacoby, and maybe 800 from Henry, that's what I was expecting from those 3 guys. I was banking on those 3 guys being the most consistent offensive weapons for Mac, and I haven't seen it at all. Kendrick Bourne is only on the field for sweeps, jet sweeps, and screens. That's it.
Yeah, because
that's it, bro. That's the only time.
CJ,
that's the only time he gets the ball.
He's in the doghouse, Matt Patricia's doghouse.
Yeah, I mean, I just again, Matt Patricia doghouse. I heard about it with Michael Butler at Super Bowl 49. I heard about that Matt Patricia doghouse. Like who
gave you that power to put something?
Who is that? Who is this guy, bro? I mean, listen, I know he's a defensive coordinator for us, and he helped us with that Super Bowl, a few years ago. But I mean, this ain't Buddy Ryan and Mike Ditka. This ain't no shit like that, bro. He's just a guy. He's a good defensive head coach, but he's playing out of position right now. And it's hurting this offense. And we're going to need this offense to step up in the second half of the season, these next 8 games. We can't have a game like how we had against the Colts or the Jets. If the Colts had any type of consistency with their O-line or a better quarterback, we lose that game. Nick Folk is the Patriots' best scorer, easily best scorer. Can't score a touchdown, so we get that 3. And Nick Foles should be calling for a raise, right? He should be talking to his agent right now, trying to get a raise, because what he's doing right now for this Patriot offense in terms of knocking down 45 to 50-something yard field goals is amazing. He's keeping these leads for us. And this game, we only got in the red zone on offense and scored that touchdown with Ramondre. It was because of the block punt on special teams. Special teams and defense carried us in this game. Literally carried us. The offense was horrendous. Pats had to kick 4 field. Yes. In the second half, because the Jets had Mac on lock defensively, the game was kept in the Pats' hands. Zach threw 4. Yes. Yeah. I said this last week. I don't think you were here last week, but I said if Zach Wilson doesn't throw
Zach Wilson isn't the worst quarterback in the league.
We get clapped. We
got washed.
We get clapped. It's so obvious. So. Listen, I love being optimistic, but here we're already halfway through the season. I've seen what I need to see.
I just don't know how you look at this season and you're not disappointed, because the team went, what were they last year? 10-6, 10-7,
10-7, right?
And you make the playoffs, and now we're supposed to be happy with the over under is 8.5. Like, that's a regression. You've regressed from the year prior. You're supposed to consistently be getting better. I didn't think that they were going to win the Super Bowl this year, but I'm supposed to be happy because, they might be better than expectations. No, the expectation is you get better each season. And they went 10-7 last year, made the playoffs, got absolutely mollywopped in the playoffs, but you made the playoffs. And even if other teams did get better around you, why didn't you get better? Because they certainly didn't. Clearly. The offense didn't get any better. In fact, it got 10 times worse. Maybe the defense got a little bit better because, we got some nice rookies over there with Jones playing pretty good. Jude on 11.5 right now. But
defense is great. I'll say that. It's good, but again, we also haven't gone up against an elite quarterback yet. Our defense has not gone up against an elite quarterback yet either. So I'm interested to see how they play.
The 2 that we played, Lamar.
We haven't played one elite. Yeah, exactly. Lamar. Yeah, that's it.
And I mean,
put
listen,
up 5 touchdowns.
Not elite, but Tua. We weren't in that game.
That's that first game of the season. You know, I wasn't. You know, I'm not going to really, get on them too much for that. That's first game, but still, we got some talent coming up in the second half. So I'm interested to see what New England team we got. You went off and said some of those games that we have next. Some of those games sound good to me based on looking at how these teams are playing, but looking at Patriots offense, I'm not sold. I'm not sold at all. Speaking of the AFC East, Buffalo versus the Jets. People thought the Bills were going to come into MetLife and blast Gang Green, but that didn't happen. Jets got the upset. Did a great job defensively on Josh Allen early in the game. You know, him and Stephon Diggs were clicking on all cylinders. I thought they were going to really blow this game open, and it was going to be a blowout.
I think it was the first play. Allen to Diggs against Sauce Gardner. I was like, "Hey, Sauce, welcome to the league." I was wrong.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, you were. As the game went on, man, went crazy. He's excellent. Josh Allen. The big story of this game is Josh Allen getting hurt. Injuring that elbow. He was kind of grabbing the forearm and then the elbow. So
UCL.
Yes, UCL. Yep. Tommy John. People saying that's so.
God, that'd be so killer.
Yeah, that'd be terrible. That'd be terrible. Just not only for Buffalo fans but for the league. If he misses the season with that injury, I hope he's healthy. I hope he's ready to go. I haven't heard any update over the last today on what his status is. But this was a big win for the Jets. I needed the Jets to lose because we obviously want New England to try to make it competitive in that AFC East. But the way it's looking right now, I think we'll end up third in the division. And but the Jets, they fight. I mean, if Zach Wilson is not selling and then giving the ball to the other team 4 or 5 times, they have a chance to win every single Sunday. And hopefully that clicked in his brain last week. Hopefully that clicked in because it's so obvious. It's different. It'd be different if they needed him to be the hero and throw the ball 40, 50 times to make plays to help the team win. That's not the case. They know what they want to do. So, the turnovers are unacceptable. But he didn't turn the ball over in this game. He didn't pass the ball. He didn't have great yards, but he just played a clean game, and that's all you need from your quarterback. Sometimes you don't need crazy stats every single Sunday. And they got the dub. They did a great job at getting this W. It's a divisional game. We know these games are close, and it's a big win for the Jets. And even with Josh Allen having that injury, it was like 4th and 21. And he rolled out to his left and threw that bomb to Gabe Davis, but it got deflected. It was a dot. It would have been a dot. It would have been a dot if Sauce Gardner didn't get his hands on football and make a big time play. Yeah, he's clutch. He's clutch. He's 6'4", fast. He reminds me a lot of Sherman, Richard Sherman. Yeah, except fast.
Sherman was never speedy.
Yeah, he was never speedy. He used his intelligence to get away. Sometimes obviously some calls here and there, but they're building something over there in New York. I've talked about this over the last couple of weeks, and I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what they're doing and how they're building this team. But it's going to come down to Zach Wilson, and what he does going forward is going to decide whether or not this team can make the playoffs or not.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you said it. They're building very well. I mean, you want to talk about absolutely destroying a draft class? Brees Hall, win. Sauce Gardner, win. Garrett Wilson. He's become unbelievable. Elijah Vera Tucker, who they had drafted the previous season, he was very good up until the injury.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they've done it. They've done it very well. I don't Vic, you'll probably be able to tell me this. The corner playing opposite of Sauce Gardner. I'm not exactly sure.
I'm blanking on his name.
Yeah, maybe you'll be able to tell us, Mr. Big Jet Guy over there. But yeah, like you said, the big story coming out of this, and I mean, it is a shame that it is the big story because the Jets are 6-3 now. I mean, they got to win over the Dolphins and a win over the Bills. Because remember, they beat the Dolphins. That game 2 was out. I think they put up like 43 in that game. But, yeah, this was, they're kind of the unanimous Super Bowl favorites. Diggs, Allen, you bring over Von Miller, and you kind of feel for the people of Buffalo in a way where it's like, damn, you guys were great for so long, never got that championship with Jim Kelly. And then, you suffered for a long time, and then this is your year. It's your year. And then, Allen could potentially be hurt. Because, I mean, listen, if it's a sprain, he can apparently just play through the pain and whatever. But even then, it has to affect you. I mean, it's your throwing elbow. It's going to affect you somehow. And then,
it's not even just the throwing part; it's the getting hit.
And if it's surgery, he's out for a year and a half. That's what Tommy John is. I mean, for a baseball player, I should say. For a pitcher, a year and a half is Tommy John.
Didn't Big Ben have something like that too, right? Or a couple years ago.
So. I believe so.
Yeah, he missed the whole year, and he lost. It was different. Obviously, Ben had a lot of miles on that arm, but
DJ Reed,
Bryce Hall, Bryce Hall, yeah. Hopefully he's healthy. I hope he's healthy. I mean, he's a phenomenal player.
Listen, you know how big of a Josh Allen fan I am.
Yeah.
So I obviously hope that he is healthy, but in the world that I hope to not live in, that he's not healthy. Who do you think the favorite is? I think it's Miami.
In division?
Yeah, I think it's Miami.
Of course. You just heard the rant we just went on about New England. I have no confidence. I have no confidence in New England. The Jets? Okay. I have no confidence in New England's offense.
I'm not even lying. I was never putting the Pats up there, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. LaFleur and Salah are working wonders for that franchise. They have created a great culture in the Jets locker room and very capable coaches. Yes, they have. They've done a great job. Mike LaFleur and Robert Salah. The receipts
interview, if you know what I'm talking about.
Who that was Salah, right? That was Salah
on the good old Michael K show, he said, "Listen, we're keeping receipts. Everybody that's down us 6-2."
That's good. I like that. I like that mindset, man. I like that mindset because the rest of the team hears an interview like that. Of course they do. I mean, everybody's on their phone. What you said?
I said, of course. Yeah, no, you're right because it's your head coach. How do you not hear it?
Right. Exactly. And that just goes to show the confidence that he has in his guys. So guys are just going to go out. The guys are just going to go out and going to want to play for him, man. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing right now. I got to give Joe. You mentioned LaFleur and Salah. I got to give Joe Douglas. He's actually
a lot of credit.
Got to give him a lot of credit, man. Again, they've had an ability to get guys in the draft, win in the draft, and get impact players in the draft that are playing well right away. That's a blessing. That's a dream. If you're working in the front office, you're a top executive for the NFL. And credit to the Jets. A big win for them, and prayers up for Josh Allen. Vikings, Commanders. Vikings get the dub here. Obviously, the big thing that come out this game was Kirk Cousins rocking the chains on the plane.
Kirk, chains.
Yeah, he was balling out. They was blasting some music. They put the chains on him. He was cooling out. That was a nice vibe. That was good to see.
Yeah, low key shredded.
No, yeah, he's in good shape. Yeah, he's in really good shape.
Got a 6-pack. Whole V-line situation going on.
I didn't see all that.
Listen, I only saw Pat. This guy Pat talking about it crazy on McAfee.
Oh, they had the graphic up.
They interviewed Kirk the next day. They interviewed.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I've been missing out on some McAfee content as of late. Check that out.
Listen, now that I'm done with Game of Thrones, I'm back to my schedule.
You're back on the McAfee wave.
McAfee's on at 12.
Nah, yeah, for sure. Because I gotta I've actually missed on his thoughts on the Jeff Saturday thing. Obviously, he's cool with Jeff.
CJ, let me tell you something. They did a segment today called "What is Jim saying?"
That's nice. That's nice.
Because and they watched the press conference, and Pat broke down what he was saying, where he was like, because some of the quotes are hilarious coming out of that press conference, where Jim Irsay was like, "Listen, I don't know how sausage is made, but you know what? I know how a football team is." And Pat goes, what Jim is saying is that, hey, listen, I don't know how to do certain things, but I know how to make a football team. And it was so funny. Like, they literally sit there and watch the press conference, and Pat, like, interrupts every once in a while. I was like, so this is what he actually was saying.
That's hilarious. No, I gotta check that out later on today. McAfee's always a great watch. But yeah, going back to the Kirk Cousins thing, they got this W. They're playing great. I believe they're 7-1.
Yeah.
They're 7-1 right now.
5-game lead the division.
Yeah, they're clearing. They're clearing the NFC North. Kevin O'Connell, bro. Listen, Nick Sirianni deserves Coach of the Year, deservedly so. But Kevin O'Connell is right there on my list. What he's done in his first year as a head coach for this Minnesota Vikings team has been nothing short of sensational. And they're running the football. Dalvin Cook's done a great job. That's what they want to do. That's their identity, Corey. You hear it? They want to run the football and work off the play action, champ. Telling you, champ. Just messing around. But quick, if Matt continues to struggle, do Pats bring back Tom Brady?
I don't think Bill wants
that ship is sailed, brethren.
Yeah,
that ship is. We need to go get a dual threat quarterback. You hear it? That's what we need to get.
Yeah, because then
get a dual threat
defense will practice against him, and maybe Bill will figure out how to stop a dual threat quarterback for once in his career.
Yeah, of course. I want to see that'd be a beauty for Patriot fans. Well, I don't want to speak for all Patriot fans. For this Patriot fan right here with the Patriot hat on, Brian Daboll is my coach of the year.
I knew I liked you, Gridiron. I don't know if he's my coach of the year because of what Sirianni's doing, but I still got Daboll way up there. I cannot believe how good of a coach he's been this season.
Yeah, it's a lot same, and then they got the head coach in the building saying another hits in the same arena. Salah's doing great too. I originally was not a Salah fan. The King Zerk, I have no idea who that is. King Zerkis looking ass dude was saying a lot for. Oh, okay, you're saying he looks like that. Okay, was saying a lot of stupid stuff last year that made me think it was a matter of time before he hit the door, but he's making moves.
I think they just had no talent last year.
That's what it was, right?
And then they went and they absolutely murdered a draft class with Sauce and Breece Hall, and Zach Wilson is playing this season. I mean, not that he's been very good, but I mean, at least you know what your quarterback is, and it's not Joe Flacco. So,
or Mike White.
Yeah, Mike White.
Remember the Mike White? I was saying people love them backup quarterbacks, boy. Mike McDaniel is also in the running for sure. So that's. Oh, CJ, you do not need to run. I'm not getting it. I was just joking, Corey. I was just joking, bro. I swear I'm not trying to get in that with you right now.
I still don't understand that point of view.
Yeah, that's maybe I'll go in the chat later. We can run that back for the part 2, bro. But I'm good right now. But my midway through the season, I have Nick Sirianni for Coach of the Year. Nick Sirianni 1, Kevin O'Connell 2, Daboll, Salah, Daboll, Mike McDaniel, Salah. That's my top 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you.
Okay.
Listen, I love Daboll. I think he should get some votes, but I mean, you have an 8-0 team. Kevin O'Connell's made that team look gorgeous with the Vikings, and then I could put him, Salah. Man, there's been a lot of. I mean, yeah,
six
Carroll.
Yeah, See, other than the play action take, bro, we've been right here today, Corey. You feel me? I was just about to say Pete Carroll right there. I got Pete Carroll outside looking at that top 5.
Yeah. I mean, do you throw? No. Yeah, no. Yeah, there's some good coaching performances this season. I mean, let's go next. Pete Carroll. I mean, 31-21 victory. Nobody expects them to be anything. Apparently, throughout the building, the entire offseason, they're like, I don't understand why people don't think we're going to be good. We're going to be fine. Taking a lot of shots at Russell Wilson. Even this week there was the, when Jesus Christ, that's another one. Mike Vrabel is always in the Coach of the Year running, honestly.
Always, yeah, he's always.
But, even this week it was, the plays that we call are being run now, which is, a little shocking.
Oh, that's what he said?
Because they have a lot of faith in their coaching staff. And so, and then, you had the week prior of Tyler Lockett going out there and saying that, what did Lockett say last week? He said something about like everybody just does what they're supposed to do and, things of that nature. So a lot of those little subtle jabs.
Wow. Look at it. Wow. That's interesting. Okay.
Gino's a hell of a story. They've had, Kenneth Walker. Woo.
Great pickup.
They
had a pretty good draft too.
Yeah, their corners are playing great.
Their corners are playing. They have two really good left. They have two really good tackles, young tackles, as well. They had a great draft. And man, this Geno Smith story it's sensational. It really is. You said comeback player of the year?
No. I think he might be the best story in the league this year.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, no doubt about it. What he's done has been amazing. They fixed the O-line, and I was saying this too. It's crazy that you said that about the Russell Wilson thing, and Pete Carroll kind of throwing some subliminals, because I was saying, I'm like, they finally got an O-line, they finally got a run game. The same off-season/season they lose Russell Wilson. We've been talking about Russell Wilson running for his life, most sacked quarterback, and this and that for the last 4 or 5 years. Now they get that, and without Russell Wilson, and they're flourishing. Better supporting cast, Seahawks or Broncos. Well, I gotta go Seattle.
Listen, DK's better than all the receivers. I'd probably put
Lockett's better than all of them too.
You think?
Of course. What?
I feel like I would put Cortland Sutton second.
Stop it. Over Tyler Lockett?
I think Tyler Lockett's fantastic. Don't get me wrong.
Stop, bro. Stop.
You ever seen the compilation of plays of Tyler Lockett, though? Like the minute he catches it, he just falls to the ground.
Yeah. I have seen that. He ain't trying to get hit, bro.
He's holding A every catch, possession.
He ain't trying to get hit. Yeah. I don't blame him. That's how you stay in the league.
He's a little dude.
Exactly. Tyler Lockett is 1,000% better than Cortland Sutton. Not even close. I dare any Bronco fan to debate that. And no Bronco fan is debating that.
Kenneth Walker's better than Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, in my eyes.
Sure, having a much better season. Javonte Williams out for the year, of course, we know that, and then Gordon is is on the second team. So,
and I don't even know about the tight end situation, honestly. But
they got Noah Fant.
I know the Broncos tight end has been pretty solid this year.
Oh yeah, he's a young guy. I
can't remember his name.
He's good. He's shown some flashes. I think his last name is with a D or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Dolch.
Something. Yeah. But he's good though. Solid.
Maybe you give the edge to the Broncos tight end group, but
okay. All right, cool. You got it. I'll take that. Defensively, Seattle, not even close.
Oh,
what you mean? Yo, Seattle defensively, they've been great. They've been great.
And over there,
they just lost Chubb to Miami. They just gave up their best pass rusher. Yeah, what are they doing over there, bro?
Listen, don't you question me, because I said it last week. I said you're winning games because your defense. You gave up your best pass rusher, so that don't add up to me.
I didn't. Yeah. So they took a big hit. Yeah, I agree with you. I like PS2.
I would still take the Broncos defense over the Seahawks defense.
Right. Nah, let's not. I hear you. I'm with you. I'm not with you, but I hear you.
Denver defense is great. Secondary is off the chain.
I'm not. They are great. But secondary, you get those turnovers sometimes from a good pass rush, and they don't have that guy. They don't have that Bradley Chubb. I don't know why. I don't know what happened with that, where they couldn't pay him.
I guess they didn't want to pay him.
Chubb's overrated.
They gave Russ all that money. Maybe they couldn't pay him. Shout out Aaron Rodgers. taking a lot of the money.
It's
Can't
bad
pay.
team. It's bad team building when you know you're gonna pay. You have to pay a lot for a quarterback, and you can't do anything else after that. To me, that's bad team building. You have to know this already. Then the counter is okay. What next? But when we do this, not sign them and then be like, what's next? You're supposed to know what's next before you sign them. This team's great.
The Seahawks are fun to watch. They look like a team who aren't taking themselves too seriously and are enjoying playing the game. They can't be said about many teams this season. Yeah, you know what, CJ, and this is like another sports cliche that I think is sometimes like overstated. But you know, sometimes when you have young kids on a team, you don't know that you're supposed to be bad. And like, I bring it back to baseball because to me it's like the easier comparison because I'm a big baseball fan, whatever.
Yeah.
Cleveland Guardians this season. Every single person who watches baseball picked them to finish third or fourth in the division. They have the youngest team in baseball. I think their average age was like 25. They end up winning the division, go to the American League Divisional Series. When you're young and you don't have the whole like, it's like that thing when you're a little kid, you think you're indestructible. Yeah, you go touch the stove because you don't know what's hot, it's going to burn you. And like when you're that young, it's like, okay, I mean, what do you mean we're going to be bad? I think I'm fantastic. Maybe when you're a veteran, you've been beaten down by the NFL over all those years, and everybody's like, yeah, this team's bad. It's like, yeah, trust me, I've looked at our roster. It's not that good. Now, obviously, I'm not saying veterans go out there and are like, well, if we're going to be bad, I'm not going to try. But it's like, damn, I guess we really are going to be bad this year. While the young kid comes in, it's like, I think we're fantastic. Just have that stupid confidence. And I think the Seahawks are like, everybody said we were supposed to be so terrible. What are you talking about? And then you start winning too. Then you really build the confidence because you're like, remember when everybody said we were going to be bad? Look at this.
Yeah, they're balling out. That's a good point. And another good point is they had a lot of veterans in years past in Seattle, and they probably retired to hearing Pete Carroll's voice. Now you got some young guys in there. They're not used to this voice. You know, it's it's refreshing. And Pete Carroll, he flourished when he had young guys, when he had younger guys, when Cam Chancellor and Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas, Brandon
Bobby
Browner,
Wagner.
all the Bobby Wagner, when all those guys were young. Michael Bennett, yes, he was. Cliff Averill, those guys on that defensive line. Bruce Irvin getting money. That defense was incredible.
They just had Martellus Bennett on the pivot. Good comment. Good interview.
Oh yeah, they did. I'm missing out, man. I'm missing out on some
big fan of the
solid
pivot.
watches. Yeah, it's a big fan of pivot. They do great jobs. Channing, Ryan, and Fred do a great job.
I've always liked that. Ryan's cool though.
Yeah, Ryan's cool. Ryan's mad cool. Ryan's mad cool. But yeah, it's Seattle. They're playing great, man. And Pete Carroll, Dallas, Denver, Philly, Buffalo, New England, top 5 in DVOA. Bro, I love that we're in there. Denver not dog water. They're 12th.
Seattle.
Okay. So yeah. So you know, I'll take the L. I'll take the L. Denver definitely has a better defense, but I'd still take a lot of the other factors.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wide receiver group, running back group, offensive line now.
Offensive line, yes. Offensive line now, yes. No doubt. And then for the Cardinals, so we talk about the Cardinals real fast because they had the little.
I can't believe they extended Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't get it.
5 years.
No, he's getting fired. He's not doing that for 5. Well, he got extended this offseason?
Yes. The GM, and Kyler.
Yeah, yo. I think it's Bidwell. I believe that's his last name. Bidwell is the owner. That wasn't a smart move, champion. That wasn't a smart move, champ. You should have waited. You should have gave them one more. Should have gave them one more year. Should have gave them this year to see what they were going to do before you gave them that back. Now you got to pay these guys, all guaranteed. So again, that just speaks to Arizona and the direction they're in right now. Kyler and D Hop kind of got into it on the sideline. I'm not gonna take too much. I'm not putting too much into that. I mean, that's just football, bro. It's
Everybody
football. You argue with your brothers. You argue with your teammates. It's gonna happen as long as you don't carry it over for the next play or the next day, etc. That's where it could get crazy. But I'm just this is what we're gonna get from the Arizona Cardinals until they actually decide to be a power running team like the Ravens. Oh, and like the Eagles. Oh, don't they have two running quarterbacks, right? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you got a short quarterback, and who could only be in a shotgun, can't play in the center.
Nope.
So I think it would expand your offense if you got a power back, a really good running back in there. But yeah, they don't care. They just want Kyler to go out there and throw the ball 50 times and tell us go win us the ball game. Yeah, run around and throw dots. That's how we're gonna win. Yeah, I mean, I can't explain it now. When he was on his rookie deal, you didn't build the team around him the right way. Now he's not on his rookie deal anymore. Now he's on his second contract, making bank. So now you have to win in the draft. And so far, I haven't seen them do that. So I have no clue. Arizona's offense is ranked 30th in DVOA. To put that in perspective, New England is 25th.
Having a worse defense or offense than us is pretty bad, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm actually I thought New England to be 30th. I thought New England to be 30th. I was a shock, or Denver. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked by
Nah,
that.
it's got to be Pittsburgh. Has to be the dead last, right? There are 32 teams.
32 teams. Yeah. I'm bugging. I'm thinking NBA.
Got to be Denver. Pittsburgh's got to be last.
Yeah, Pittsburgh or Denver.
Another game of miscues and errors for the Cardinals. High snaps, penalties, and lack of discipline. Yeah,
Sounds like the Cliff Kingsbury era right there to me. Right there, Gridiron
collapses.
those last three things right there is the epitome of Cliff Kingsbury coaching. Yeah, so until that changes, until they're changing their scheme, until what I just said changes, Indy is that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
That definitely makes a lot of sense. Until that changes for Arizona, this is what we're going to get. They're going to have a game. They're going to have weeks where they look great, and they're playing well. D-Hop, Kyler. Oh my gosh, what is this? Is this? And then we have this.
CJ, actually, you know what? Hard Knocks starts tomorrow.
The end season for the Cardinals, right?
Yep.
I saw that little clip where Buda Baker was like, "I'm tired of losing." I'm like, "Well, champ,
You better get used to it, buddy.
we got paid." So listen,
I got bad news for you, kid.
Yeah, Buda, man, listen, brother. I'm glad you got your money. Because right now, it's tough. It's looking tough for you, Jack. Tough life. Speaking of tough life, this was tough life for both of these teams. Yeah, tough watch. But prior to the tough watch, it's been a tough season for the LA Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two teams that are one of the best playoff games ever last in January, and here we are 10 months later, and they're scratching and surviving, try to get some dubs. And it was 9-13 for the majority of this game. Both offenses didn't look great. Buccaneers offense, and then the goated Buccaneers offense. They didn't score. They didn't convert on fourth down, on 4th and 1 the first time. Got the ball back, and this is when the game started. In this time frame that I'm breaking down for our listeners and viewers. And then for the Rams, it was 3rd and 4, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, of course. We've seen the cup, Stafford the Cup, right? Stafford the Cup, automatic, right? Running the ball. In the Super Bowl, they did a sweep the cup on 4th and 1. 3rd and 4, when you're not playing well, you're on a losing streak. I mean, the Seahawks are leading the division, bro. It's crazy. Seahawks leading the division. You can't beat the 49ers in the regular season. You just can't. You suck against the 49ers in the regular season. You need this win. This is it's an easy one. You get a first down and GG's. What they do, they run the football 3 and out. They give Tom the ball, but you give Tom the ball back? Are you kidding me?
Even with a terrible offense, you know what's going to happen.
All he needs is one drive. And all he needs is one drive, and that's exactly what he got. He got that one drive, executed.
You want to talk about terrible defensive play calling on that?
Yeah, the first play, I'm blanking on the tight end. I'm blanking on his last name. He's a young guy.
Otten,
okay.
I want to say.
Yeah, but wide open up on the seam, right? Yeah.
25 yards.
Yeah.
And then, CJ, that's not even the biggest problem. I mean, it is. The next 3 plays, you're playing 10-yard off coverage. And they did 8-yard out routes to Scotty Miller on the sideline. They got another 15. They got another 20 yards on 8-yard out routes because the Ram quarterbacks were playing 10 yards off. I need an explanation.
It's smart. It's well for both sides. Well, I'll go for both sides. For the Buccaneers, it's smart because the Rams were, like you said, they were backing up. They didn't want to give up a home run play in a couple seconds. So that's why they're playing back like that. But in counter to that, you're giving up what you just said. The 8-yard outs, the short intermediate routes where Brady likes to get the ball out quick. I'm glad you mentioned Scotty Miller because I want to go back real fast before this drive that we're breaking down. Talk about the drive prior and Scotty, bro. I'm so glad I remember this. Okay. So why are you catching a football with your body, bro?
Why are you jumping in the air? The pass was going to hit him in the.
I think he jumped in the air. He might have expected a hit or something. You just don't know. Like when you feel open, you aren't. So you just do other stuff to kind of protect yourself. So that's why he jumped like that and kind of body caught it, and it just went off his helmet. Then it came off his chest plate, and it dropped it.
Yeah.
But you know how you avoid that?
Your hands.
What? You say it one more time?
Those hands.
Oh, you use your hands. You use your hands, right? Because that's how you get paid. Right?
CJ, you know how many drops they had in the game?
I don't know off top.
8.
They had 8 drops. Mike Evans is struggling too, man. This is my guy. He was a staple on my 1 and 8 fantasy football team. He was the only constant on my fantasy football team. And right now, even he's struggling with drops. I don't know what's going on with him. Chris Godwin also.
I think he had 2 in the game.
He had a couple drops. Yeah, a couple drops. Yeah, for sure. Chris Godwin has struggled, but it's tough for me to critique coming off the ACL. Yep. Usually it takes a full year for those guys to really get back to where they were. So that's just what it is right now. Julio Jones, we know this already. We know what type of time he was. I believe he played in this game, but
didn't do much.
Yeah, he didn't do much. But yeah, Scotty Miller, bro. Listen,
right? Hit the drugs machine, brother.
No, but two hands, bro. I really hate when I see the teams be catching that jump with your body, bro. I hate it. Now, when you're in traffic, of course, because you're not gonna come out here and put your arms out like that. You're gonna let the ball come to you a little bit. Yeah. Of course, you're gonna get killed. You're gonna let the ball come to you a little bit. And you bring the ball, but you still got to use your hand. You don't just let it come to your body and then catch it. No. You catch it and then bring it to your. Oh my God, it's gonna be so tight. They get me so tight, bro. They get me so tight. But they made up for it.
When I watch tackling, watching tackling in the NFL pisses me off to no doubt. Like, don't get me wrong. You throw me on the field, I would get ran over. My ankles would be taken. My ACL would probably be torn on the first play. We're professional athletes. The way that I see that, they don't even wrap anybody. They literally just bang into them and hope they fall over.
Because they want the big hit. They want the big hit, bro. Big hit is they want the highlights. They want the highlights, and that's why we get broken tackles. Yes, we was gonna get into that. I was gonna get into that, but I'm glad you brought up too. Yeah, 100K. Let's go for Tom. But I just want to go back to the drive, and then I get into the 100K for Tom. So he goes to the drive. You just mentioned short, intermediate, the little short 8-yard, out routes to Scotty Miller. Then they drive down the field. And they do the play that they did in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs. Where Gronk went, slid, motioned over, and they threw the pass on the other side. Except they flipped it. And Gronk went to the left side, and Otten, I believe that's his name. Is
I think it's Cade Otton.
Cade Otton, okay. Cade Otton came in. You went on the right side. It was a really good play. Brady just nice little touch dot, and it was GG's. It was GG's. Big win for the Buccaneers. Much needed win for them. You saw how.
First place.
Yeah, right. Yeah. First place. Yeah, in that terrible division right now in the NFC South. But yeah, they're in their first. This was a much needed win. I believe they're going to Germany this week.
Yep, playing the Seahawks.
Playing the Seahawks. It's a great game. It's going to be a great game. Germany got it.
30 though. I might not make it.
You might not make it. I think I might be up for that one. I'll try to check it out. But Germany, you got yourself a treat, bro.
Got to see the GOAT.
Man, you got yourself a treat over there in Munich, man.
You see that when the tickets went on sale, they had 600,000 people waiting.
Football. Listen, football's global, bro. Football's global. Slowly but surely, they're trying to get into that international wave. It's a good look. It's a good look for them. They're obviously when they would never touch soccer, but or basketball, but they're making their ways. Again, it's gonna for when it comes to situations like that for the NFL and going global. They're going to need international guys coming to the NFL and becoming stars. That's how you bring those eyes to your product. So until that starts to happen a little bit more, we'll kind of see a little. We'll see popularity. We'll see what we got. And then of course there's fans, but it's going to take that guy.
It's like baseball in Japan. Hideki Matsui came over on the Yankees. The Japanese media was at every game. He had people staying up until I think a day game here was like 6 a.m. there. I mean,
game changer. Probably same thing for Ichiro over there in Seattle.
Yeah.
And then
Ichiro was Jesus to them.
Oh yeah, of course. And then even from an NBA tip, even though it was a couple weeks, that Linsanity. Oh yeah, Yao, yes, Yao, and then Linsanity too. So just when you have if your product has international stars. I mean, it's a game changer, but good for Germany. They're gonna have a really good game. I can't wait for that one, and great for the Buccaneers. They needed this win. It came right down to the wire, but they were able to manage to get it done. For the Rams, and I'm just not sure what's gonna happen. Kupp's still getting his numbers, but it's just.
Bad.
Offensive line is really bad. They're not able to run the ball. Both teams are terrible at running the football. Both offensive lines are terrible.
I think the Bucs are on pace to have the worst running offense in NFL history. Yeah, legitimately too. I'm not even no exaggeration. Legitimately the worst running offense ever.
No, they're bad. They're bad, but. And they're gonna have to clean that up, especially over there in Germany against this Seahawks team. And the Rams, that division is more competitive, much more competitive than what we thought at the start of the season. I didn't think the Seahawks would be 6-3.
CJ, nobody did.
Yeah,
let's be real.
Yeah. So, and this is what I mean. So now, if you have a team, it's like the Bucs. It's like, yeah, they're 4-5. But the rest of the teams in the division are ass, so
terrible.
We know they're gonna make up for it. That NFC West, nah, it's not like that. Even if the Seahawks weren't great, you still had the Cardinals who are 50-50, and we know what the 49ers do to the Rams in the regular season. Yep. So now you got 3 teams you got to worry about. And they got talent, but they don't have talent in the right spots. And until they figure that out, it's gonna be a struggle for this Los Angeles Rams. Yes, definitely for this Rams squad. Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, I say we run through these real quick. Got to make our Week 10 picks. We're already at that 220 mark, but yeah, I mean, listen, I will say Titans always play the Chiefs good. Like every single time the Titans play the Chiefs, it seems to be a good game. They kept Mahomes in check in this one. I think he did finish with like 400 yards. CJ, he threw it 68
60. Yeah.
times. 68 passes. That's insane. I looked at that after the game because somebody said it, and I was like, what are you, stupid? You got to be exaggerating or something, right? I went and looked. I was like, holy shit, he threw it 68 times. Unbelievable. I mean, yeah, the offense did what they had to do when they had to do it. And then, the defense played well because Malik Willis completed 5 passes. And I don't even really blame Malik Willis. Listen, it's a second game. You're playing in Arrowhead, which, great team struggled to do. And only completed 5 passes. Derrick Henry was over 100 yards at a touchdown. So he played well like he normally does. But listen, without a quarterback, they just couldn't land that final blow, to the Chiefs in Arrowhead. If they have Tannehill in this game, they might win. And I'm not really putting it all on Malik Willis either because, like you joked about earlier in the show, who you're throwing it to. A.J. Brown has more catches, receiving yards, and touchdowns than the Titans wide receivers combined. So, not exactly what you want.
Yeah,
a little questionable.
Yeah, not exactly what you want at all. Titans, they're always going to be in it because they're well coached. We talked about this earlier. We said Mike Vrabel's always going to be in the head coach of the year candidacy every single season. Malik Willis. Listen, bro. I said this earlier. I don't know what people expect him to do. He's a 4th round pick, and it's going to take him some time. It's not going to come in and light the world on fire. We expect that. That's a perfect world. Football is not a perfect world, not even close to a perfect world. So it's going to take some time for him to develop, grow. We're seeing Jalen Hurts this good in his 3rd year. We're seeing Tua Tagovailoa playing this well in his 3rd year. We saw Josh Allen take that next step in his 3rd year. This is game 2 for Malik Willis. So let's chill out. I've seen some comments online already quick to write the story already after 2 games. They love writing those stories already. It's beautiful. Those are amazing how you could just come up with a conclusion of somebody's career after 120 minutes of playing. It's ridiculous.
Probably hasn't even played 100 snaps.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. But KC, they got this W. They needed it. It was a good win. They needed to stay right at the top of the AFC and having that home field advantage. And with this injury to Josh Allen being a story, if he misses some games, the Chiefs could easily position themselves to get in that number 1 seed.
Yep. Easily.
The 68 pass attempts from Mahomes, I'm not a big fan of.
No.
But this is Andy Reid. It's Andy Reid, so I'm not surprised. Doesn't like to run the football, but the Titans did a great job of stopping the run. Also, Isaiah Pacheco really didn't have anything going in this game. Same goes for Edwards-Helaire. So that's what Mahomes had to do. If they had to throw the ball 68 times, so be it. Kelsey had a great game. Juju Smith-Schuster played well. Also, McCall Hardman had a touchdown. This Justin Watson is a guy coming along too. Got their 2nd tight end. He's made some really nice splash plays in these last couple weeks for KC. They just find a way to get it done. They find a way to get it done. And Mahomes is that guy. Excuse me. Mahomes is that guy. Either way you slice it, he's going to make a play. You give him multiple opportunities, more times than not, they're going to get into that end zone or win the game. They just are. He's just too good. He's too good to have 4, 5, 6, 7 drives and none of those drives result into a touchdown. It's just impossible. So Tennessee, they fought hard. Derrick Henry ran the ball solid. They just don't have any outside weapons, and Malik Willis is really raw right now as a passer in the NFL. So for them to even keep it this close against a really good Kansas City team on the road is truly a testament to how good this Titans team can be going forward. But KC is still top dog. Derrick Henry is a man amongst boys out there. Oh yeah, for sure. It's been that way since high school, bro. If you look at the high school highlights.
High school stat lines are crazy.
Yeah, it's high school. It was
6,000 yards or something.
Ridiculous. Monday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens, New Orleans Saints. This could have been a trap game. This could have been a trap game for Baltimore.
Yep.
You know, this is in New Orleans. This is a Monday night primetime game. Guys get up for this game, even though that you may look at a guy and be like, man, this guy sucks, but he may get up for this Monday Night Football game right here, man. He might ball out. He got his family, his girl, his side pieces, all of his people
stayed up past their bedtime.
Exactly. He got his nieces and then cousins, all of them watching this game right now.
Got all boys.
To see him ball out, you know, all his boys. So even though he might not be great, that prime time could make you look prime time in that moment. So, but that didn't happen for the Saints because they have Anthony Dalton, that quarterback. You saw what happened?
Saints were bad.
Yeah, they're bad.
They're
bad.
not good.
They're not good. And Andy Dalton is Andy Dalton, and Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson. And he did it. Listen, I know I say listen a lot, but I really need you guys to understand.
We all got our sayings.
Yeah, no, we do. I need people to understand what we're looking at here when we're talking about number 8 for the Baltimore Ravens. Because name me another young AFC quarterback that's winning with what he has right now. Name me one.
One more time. Say it again.
Name me a young quarterback like up and coming Mahomes, Herbert, Allen, Burrow, any of those guys. Name me any one of those guys that's winning with the roster Lamar Jackson has right now. Name me one of those guys. Let me see.
Yeah, no, you can't really do it. I mean, everybody's got
man's throwing a ball to Isaiah Likely, a rookie tight end.
Looks pretty good too, by the way.
No, he does. But I'm
like him and Mark Andrews as the 2 tight ends.
It could be special.
I'm not even saying that to undermine the whole point. I'm being dead ass. Him and Mark Andrews and I likely a 2 tight end set.
It could be, and I hope it becomes something. I really do because I want more. I would like to see more offensive weapons around Lamar Jackson. I really do. They have to go get Deshaun Jackson, 36-year-old Deshaun Jackson.
Off the scrap
to bring some type of life to that outside. Bateman out for the season. Tough. Duvernay's kind of a gadget guy, not really like a consistent outside guy. He could kind of do things here and there. He could be a receiver. He could play out the backfield. He's a kick return, punt return. He's a weapon.
It reminds you when everybody first figured out who Tyreek Hill was.
Yeah, early.
I remember. It's weird. First game I ever knew who Tyreek Hill was. I needed to pick somebody up in fantasy because I had a wide receiver who was sitting. I think that was the game he scored like 3 touchdowns. He had a kickoff return, or he had like a punt return and like 2 receiving touchdowns. I was like, oh, interesting.
Yes. Yeah, he's. I mean, we know how great he is. Everybody, shut up, the Reverend King. I'm weak. Nah, no Reverend on this side, man. We just speaking facts. I just don't see a lot of these young quarterbacks winning with the roster that Lamar Jackson has right now. No J.K. Dobbins. Gus Edwards just came. You said who?
Play.
Yeah, I know Gus ain't playing this game, but I'm saying he came back a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he just came back. He's kind of getting himself back together after tearing his ACL. No Andrews, no Bateman. It was just Likely, 36-year-old Deshaun Jackson, and Lamar Jackson's legs. This is pre-contract. This is what their offense looks like pre-second contract for Lamar Jackson, bro.
Isn't that scary though?
Yes, yeah, that's my point. Yes, it's very scary.
CJ,
because now what they're going to say is, oh, he's making all the money. We can't get guys. That's what they're going to say now, bro. That's not fair, bro.
Let me ask you a question. if you're Lamar, do you want to be on the Ravens?
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you want to be. Yes, you want to be on the Ravens. Of course, you do.
You don't think you think there's any resentment there though, where it's like, bro, I see all these other people on their rookie contracts. Look at Herbert, he's got Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Look at Joe Burrow, he's got Jamar Chase and Tyler Boyd and T Higgins. Look at whoever. I'm on my rookie contract. You gave me Devin Duvernay. Like, I don't want to play for your team because when I start making my money, who are you going to give me? Devin Duvernay Jr.?
I agree with you. And my counter to that is the grass is not always greener. The grass is not always greener, a la Devontae Adams, a la Russell Wilson. It's not always greener. So the Ravens are perfect fit for him. Why? Because one, I will give them credit. They built their offense around Lamar Jackson.
True.
Where they didn't have to.
Yeah.
They did not have to do that. He was the last pick in that draft, in that first round, I should say. They took a chance on him. They didn't have to build their offense around him after he came in for Flacco in those couple games. They didn't have to make that transition. They did that. So I respect them for that. I salute them for that. I do. I really do. But okay, what's next? What's next? I need more. I need more of that. And they win a lot of Lamar Jackson wins like 75% of his games.
Yeah.
So it's confusing to me. No, Baltimore is the best. Baltimore is the best place for him. Just the identity, just the purple and blacks just looks so clean on Lamar, man. It does. It's just selfishly, just looking at the colors, and it fits him well. It's perfect. It's a good fit. I just want them to do more. That's my only point.
Figured it out.
What's up?
I figured it out. We keep talking about Sean Payton. The Saints go trade for Lamar. Payton unretires. He's the head coach of the Saints again.
No, I don't want him on the Saints.
I figured it out.
That offensive line is not good. The offensive line is not better than the Ravens' offensive line.
Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, Kamara.
Michael Thomas hasn't played in like 3 years.
All right, fine. Chris Olave, Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara sounds good. Olave, I still need to see more. He's shown flashes, but then again, we see who his quarterback is, so it's tough to reevaluate him right now, at least. Ravens is the best spot, bro. I'm not saying he should go anywhere else. I'm just saying the Ravens need to do more. That's it. Like you have to do more, bro. You built your offense around him. Okay, good. Now put better players in that offense so he could continue to flourish. Because come playoff time, he's going to get critiqued if he doesn't make enough plays to these guys on the outside, and they're not able to produce because they're not as good as some of his counterparts. So great win for the Ravens. And I know we talk about this every week, but it's just like I watch these games and I'm like, bro, look who he's throwing a football to, bro. It's tough. It's tough, man. But Lamar is still able to get the W regardless. It speaks to his greatness. He's worth every penny, and the Ravens need to get on that quickly.
It's a interesting development. I am very curious to see what happens with that whole contract situation after this season.
Likewise.
But yeah, we move on to our
to our week 10. Week 10, man. We're approaching week 10. I went 9-4 last week. Connie went 10-3. So Connie's getting some dubs on me over these last couple
3 weeks in a row, by the way.
Yeah, that is 3 weeks in a row. That is 3 weeks in a row. Connie's getting the dubs. So I got these teams that I'm picking. What's up, guys? I need you guys
Don't
to
worry,
step it up.
it's not just you. I'm beating up on Josh too.
I need these teams to step it up that I'm choosing. What's up, man? You guys are letting me down. I'm only losing by like a win, a game. So it's I don't know.
It's tough out here, kid.
Thursday Night Football, NFC South Showdown, NFC South Snooze Fest, I should say.
Yeah.
And it's Thursday night. This is a double negative. Triple
Al
negative.
Michaels probably wants to jump out of the booth.
Yo, Al Michaels and Kirk Hershey, they're probably like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Marcus
a lot.
Mariota versus Baker. Oh no, they're going back to PJ Walker. You heard what they said? Right?
No, I thought they were sticking with Baker.
Yeah, I could have sworn I saw on the ticker at the bottom on Sports Center. They said they're going back to PJ. So I got the Falcons in this one, man.
Yeah, I got the Falcons either way. They're scrappy.
Now listen, they had a great game last week. This was a great game last week.
They should have won.
This was a phenomenal game.
They should have won. They got the game-winning fumble, and then they fumbled it back.
Right. And then they fumbled it back. Yes. Either way, I got the Falcons though. Seattle versus the Buccaneers is the game in Germany.
Wow. Bucks are back on track. Give me them.
Got Tampa Bay. I got Seattle. I don't know. I didn't see back on track on Sunday, brother. I saw one good drive.
Sometimes that's all it takes. A little kickstart. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I got to see that though. I'm going with Seattle. Vikings versus the Bills. I don't know the status of Josh Allen.
CJ, how about we do this? A little asterisk here.
Right.
Because I'll listen. Are you taking the Bills if Josh Allen plays?
Of course.
All right. So I would as well. So I say we asterisk this. If Josh Allen plays, we both pick the Bills. If he doesn't play, we both pick Vikings.
Yeah, I'm with you on that for sure. We could do that.
Because I mean, how the hell am I supposed to know? It's a Tuesday.
Yeah, we don't.
We record these shows on Tuesdays. It's not fair.
Yeah, we have no clue. So yes, if that happens, either way, that's what we're going with. Lions and the Bears. I'm gonna go Chicago. Yeah,
Bear down, baby.
I just like what I've seen so
Speaking
far.
of Bears, did you see that they're like $5.6 billion thing he got approved from the town that they're supposed to be moving to?
Oh, they're trying to build another arena.
And let me tell you something, gorgeous.
That's gorgeous.
You gotta go look it up.
Are they still gonna call it Soldier Field or?
I don't know honestly. They're building like the stadium, then they're like building stuff around it, trying to make it like a little community type thing.
Right.
Looks crazy.
No, that's dope. I want to see how it looks out a couple years later. But I got Chicago in that one. Jags and the Chiefs. I got Kansas City.
You don't really got to talk about that one, honestly.
You don't got to talk about that one. Browns and the Dolphins. It's an interesting game. Game. Both teams like to run the football. Who you got?
I think the Dolphins go 7-0 as Tua starts and finishes a game.
I'm going with Miami as well. They're doing right now is special. Texans and the Giants. I think the Giants get back on track after the bye week and get the W.
I tend to agree with you there, pal.
Saints and the Steelers. Sheesh. Saints coming off a bye. Steelers coming off a bye.
I don't think it matters.
Just lost Claypool.
I got
go Saints. Yeah.
It's tough.
I gotta go Saints, bro. The Broncos and the Titans. I got Tennessee.
I also have Tennessee here.
I got Tennessee, man. Russell Wilson should win that game, but I'm just not confident from what I've seen. I did get that W before the bye, but I'll take the L. I got to see it first. Colts and the Raiders. I got Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, I got to go with the Raiders.
Default.
There's nobody on the Colts staff who's ever called the play. If they win this game, Josh McDaniels has to get fired.
He has to go.
You can't lose a game. That's embarrassing.
No way. He could come back. Nah, bro, you got to go. Bro, they just brought in Jeff Saturday. He was just on Get Up like a couple days ago. Doing something with pancakes or something like that with the O-line.
Doing the O-line last week?
Nah, I didn't see it from last week.
It was like the Raiders look like garbage.
Oh.
And now he's coaching them.
Nah, he's coaching them. If he's able to get this W, man,
bow down.
Josh got to go, bro. He has to go.
You don't have a choice.
Cowboys and the Packers. This game of the week, even though Packers aren't playing well, but we know what Rodgers likes to do against the Cowboys.
Sure.
And this game, these two teams have so much history over these last, I want to say 7 years, obviously longer than 7 years, but
remember that Jerry world?
before that, I was gonna say the catch. Well, that wasn't a catch, but that's Bryant.
Yeah.
That was at Lambeau Field. And then yes, the rollout left to Jared Cook, and then the Mason Crosby field goal to seal it. That was a great game, by the way.
That in a dome, curved left and right about 18 times.
Went through. That's all that matters. This one's in Lambeau. I think back of rookie season, Dak and Zeke when they went crazy in Lambeau. 2016. That was kind of like
supposed to play in this game too.
Zeke is coming back. That's good. If this is their coming out party, I got Dallas, man.
Yeah, I got Dallas too. The Packers just aren't good.
Yeah, I have no confidence. Diggs should have an interception in that game.
McCarthy revenge game.
Revenge game, yes. There's a lot of storylines in that game right there. Even though the Packers are 3-6, I think they will play competitive. But I still got Dallas. Cardinals and the Rams. It's going to be close.
I go with the Rams just because they own the Cardinals. This is like the 49ers and Rams, except the opposite way.
Yeah, I'll go with the. I don't trust either team.
No.
I'll go with the Rams though. I'll go with the Rams. Actually, no. Let's switch it up because we've been agreeing too much.
Okay.
I'll go with the Cardinals. I'll go with the Cardinals. They're known for having a bad game, good game, bad game, good game. So maybe this is their good game. Maybe this is their good game here. Chargers and the 49ers, California showdown. I got the 49ers.
Yeah, I do as well. The Chargers are. Listen, if the NFL had like a minor league, the Chargers basically have a minor league team now because of all the injuries. They're calling up everybody.
It's insane. It's insane, man. And then last game, Commanders and the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles go 9-0.
Wash them.
Yeah,
they wash them.
Easy work. Last, real quick. It's been talks now with Odell. Now he's eligible now to be able to get picked up and get some workouts. Where do you see him going?
I think if the tests come back okay, that he's not out for the year, he goes to the Bills.
Okay. I like the Giants. I like a reunion. I like an NY reunion. It makes sense. He's gonna get the ball a lot because they need him. They're winning right now.
Jerry said today you'd look real good, and he'd look real good in a Cowboys uniform.
Yeah, he would. That would look so weird because we saw him as a Giant in years past, so it'd be very weird to see him in a Cowboy uniform, especially when the Giants could use a guy and they're winning. So he will never be forgiven by Giant fans if he did that at all. Never. It's over. But it is a good spot for him. They could use a guy like Odell. A couple teams could use a guy like Odell. Again, Ravens.
Yup.
I'm gonna say Ravens and Giants. Those are my top two teams. There's obviously some others, but I like Buffalo too. But I think a reunion and Lamar and
Odell goes
into
Green Bay and becomes the savior.
I don't know.
I
don't know why he wouldn't do that to himself.
Never know. All righty, listen. 2 hours, 42 minutes of beautiful content.
Yeah.
Listen, a lot of stuff to talk about. Okay.
Yeah. Again, guys. It could have been a lot shorter. I had I had the Pilates class with my girl, so it was a good workout. I ain't gonna lie. It was definitely a good full body workout.
I could use some. I could use some working out, so might have to check out some Pilates.
Nah, yeah, hit up some classes. Some hot yoga. Nah, I definitely had my opinions about it prior, but doing it, good. Yeah, I appreciate you, man. But after doing it, I was like, yo, it's pretty good full body workout. But yeah, that wraps up the show. Again, episode 87. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, watching us, listening. Gridiron, Vic, Perry, Corey, everybody that's been diving in the chat, talking to us, conversing as we're breaking down this, these games each and every week. We appreciate you guys coming in, chopping it up with us. So again, hit that like and subscribe button on the Unwrapped Sports YouTube channel. For the next time we go live, hit that notification bell, hit all instead of personalized, so you can see when Connie and I go live. We have multiple shows on the platform, and Connie can tell you what he got going on.
Yeah, Mondays is generational sports. Me and Josh breaking down a little bit of everything. Made our predictions for the big UFC 281 card this week. Talked a little NBA with the whole Kyrie situation. Obviously went into the NFL as we have to do because, well, NFL runs everything. As you guys know, me and CJ, like you just said here, Tuesdays, 9 Eastern all the time, breaking down everything in the football world. Backstop banter. Me and Michael breaking down everything in the baseball world on Thursday. The World Series is over. We have a champion. We will have free agency starting here very soon. Obviously, the big shoe to drop will be Aaron Judge to see what happens with him. Don't break my heart, brother, and come back. But we'll see what happens in MLB free agency. And when it does, we'll be there to break it down Thursdays at 9 Eastern on Backstop Banter. You can follow the Twitter account, Anthony Conover _. You can click the link tree and find out what I'm doing everywhere. All of those podcasts are available Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, so make sure you go and check them out.
Yes, thank linktree.com/cjames9. Link is right there for the viewers. Everything that I'm working on my platforms. I got CJ got his Billy Blanks on and got that Tybo in. Yeah, exactly. Yo, bro. Billy Blanks. Yo, bro, you bringing back the classics, man. Those Tybo VHS tapes. Damn. Yeah,
Is it really? See, I don't know how much older you are than me.
Like 7 years?
I'm 22.
28. Oh, so 6. Okay.
I don't know if you remember, Rugrats had a movie, and I'll always remember it just because the VHS was orange.
VHS orange. I still have that Rugrats movie VHS, bro, in the crib, and I used to have the watch too. I used to rock that watch like it was a Rolly, bro. The little I had the Reptar watch, bro. I was rocking that watch like it was a Rolly, bro. Oh man,
I'm crying.
Shout out Victor, Billy Blanks and Tybo. Remember that? You never remember Tybo? Remember the? I know you've seen that Geico commercial with Billy Blanks, right?
I'm not good with names.
When they're doing like they're auditioning and he's in it too, and they're like working it out. Just look, yo,
I'll find it.
Yeah, you'll find it. Yeah, it's a Geico commercial. It's hilarious, but yeah, he's in that, and he used to do like those little workout stuff back in the 90s and stuff, and yeah, bro, man, Billy Blanks, goddamn. But nah, yeah, but nah, listen, thank you guys for watching us. We will catch you guys next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Catch you guys, everybody. Have a good one.